Barcelona must be trolling. Barcelona must be trolling. Something is amiss in Barcelona. Guys, it's main man here, Double H trying to exist. This is for your Q&A. Now, I may have to take a phone call. Because I've been doing some work again, my part-time work, my other vocation that I used to earn some bread. I've been doing a lot of that today, so I've been working quite a bit. Hence why my trip to Japan, which was my live show for Half Up Sports, was sort of cancelled for today, but that will be tomorrow. I will talk about my trip to Japan on the Half Up Sports YouTube channel tomorrow. That's what I will do. But again, hopefully everything should be fine for my work, but I may still get a phone call. We just have to wait and see. So this is about you guys, man. Barcelona, man. What's happening? What's going wrong at Barcelona? Pjanic? Is Pjanic still relevant? What's wrong with Melo? What the heck is wrong with Melo? So guys, remember, there is YouTube time and there's regular time. YouTube time, 5 minutes. You're given a 5-minute window. So everybody trying to induct me because I'm like, I was 1 second late. It's insane. It's insane, man. But guys, look, man, this is what it's about, man. Just for you guys to send in your questions, and Red may come in. We may be getting Red. Red may be coming in. Red may be coming in to say what's up. So if Red comes in to say what's up, hopefully that should really do some things, man. But let's just see what you guys say, man. Again, nurses and doctors, shout out to the nurses and doctors. Shout out to the nurses and doctors out there. You are heroes. You're heroes. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. Also, guys, by the way, I'm thinking of doing like an epic super hangout on Sunday. I'm talking about like a 6-7 hour marathon hangout, like from Sunday. Just full on. Let's just go and let's just talk from the early on days, man. So I'm thinking about it, but we'll try and do that. So, look, I don't even want to discuss about the whole 6-9 thing, man. Look, I'm not even going to touch that. I think Kovacic is slightly underrated. Now, I'm not speaking from a Chelsea bias here, but Kovacic is a dude who, he was always a decent midfielder, Croatia actually has a good crop of midfielders coming through, so he was always a very decent midfielder. But I think, the thing that people held against him was, he doesn't score enough goals, which is stupid because that's not, you need that for a midfielder. But I think you've now seen him really come into his own, and I think right now, moving forward, he'll now be a starter in that Croatian midfield. So you'll probably be seeing him and Rakitic be the mainstays. Him, Rakitic, and Brozovic will probably form the future of Croatia. But I just think, in terms of just because for me, I think Jorginho is like an anchor midfielder. Kovacic is like the kind of old school traditional CM where he's really in there, utilizing several passes and just getting the team going, And I just think he's got a really good football brain, really good balance, really good understanding of how to play the position, understands the demands of the position. And I think he has been a invaluable member to the Chelsea contingent, man. So he's been huge. So I do feel that people slightly underrate this dude, and I think that people need to really give this guy his due. People need to really give his guys due. Says HH, Fred is better than Rodri. Fact. Fred. No, he isn't. No, Fred has had a great season. Doesn't then result in you being a better player. That's not how it works. Yes, 100%. He's had a very good season. Let's just keep it real. He's not had an amazing season. He's just had a very good season. Because remember, he was trash before. And when I think during the seasons with Mourinho, I was like, who the heck, who the heck got this dude? And he's been really good. But Rodri is a damn good football player. Like that was a really good find by Pep Guardiola. And also remember as well as like they play similar positions, similar. But remember, Rodri is a sitting midfielder. He's really right there and just sits and operates in that kind of DM position. I think Fred is much of a box to box, hence why you don't really see Rodri going up and down the pitch and really in the final third. But you see Fred in defense, you see him in midfield, and you see him, up offensively. And I think if Fred can just improve the offensive side of his game, I think he will then take his game to the next level. Because I do feel that when he's in that final third, you're like, bro, pass the ball. Because I never feel like if the opposition is in a threat whenever Fred is in the final third. But look, he's done some really good stuff for United. He's done some really good stuff for United. But I think you're smoking crack to say he is better than Rodri, man. That is just full on crack. So yeah, same man. All right, let's just see. In your opinion, how many signings do you need to win the league? So sorry, in your opinion, how many signings do Arsenal need to win the league? In my opinion, I think 4 signings. Yeah. Again, if they make the signings, it's true. But I think, to be honest, Arsenal can get away with 3. But maybe 4 is ideal. If Arsenal keep Aubameyang, they need a really good midfielder, a really good quality midfielder who is really good at keeping the ball and passing the ball. So that's one. They need a very good, dependable, consistent central defender who is really good at commanding the defense and just really operates and just really shouting things. So that's 2. So that's midfield improved in terms of ball possession. And that is the the defensive improved. They don't need a playmaker. They have Ozil. The issue with Ozil, you unlock Ozil by unlocking the rest of the team. They need another. I think Pepe is fine. So Pepe plays on the right. I think they then need a left-sided wide attacking player, or they need a replacement for Lacazette. So they need another complementary attacking player. So basically, they need another goal-scoring outlet. So that's 3. And for a 4th, you may argue either a really good attacking right back or a really good attacking left back. Either one of those 2. Guys, one second. Let me I just need to take this phone call. 1 second, I'll be back. One second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I just had to take a look. Walk. It is what it is, guys. I told you, like, put some respect on HH's name, man. I told you, I'm doing all these kinds of jobs and everything, man. People want me. People want to roll with me and everything. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So from So from Sultan or Wallaby. So yeah, that's the thing. So a really strong midfielder because Xhaka is trash. Daniel Ceballos is too lightweight, and Ozil needs a support system. I think Xhaka is there to support another midfielder. So is Daniel Ceballos, but they need a strong central midfield personality who can take over a game. They need a strong defender because you don't actually need two strong defenders. You just need one strong defender to then maybe give David Luiz confidence or to give Mustafi confidence. But Luiz and um, Luiz and Mustafi are both garbage. You can't have two bricks in defense. You just need one great defender, and that one great defender can make a break into someone that's decent. So strong defender, strong midfielder, and then maybe another strong wide attacker who can also score goals because Aubameyang is the goal scoring rate on Aubameyang is far too strong. So if you have those three, then I would then say a strong attacking left back or right back who is also good at defending, but can also provide. Again, look at the Liverpool template. You know, the two wide attacking guys who can score goals, but also those two wide men as well who can also provide the width. So I think if they get that, then they'll be on their way there. If Leipzig, look guys, we hope that the Bundesliga will be back fresh and good, man. If Leipzig somehow win Bundesliga, does that make Nagelsmann a tier 1 manager? No, it doesn't. It makes him upper tier 2. Maybe it'll make him upper tier 2. But I think to get to tier 1, you need to, because I can't just put him automatically next to guys who have CLs and European pedigree. To be tier 1, you need European pedigree. Like falsely, I put Pochettino at tier 1 because I was like, oh my gosh, he got to the CL final. Lo and behold, we found out that the guy is complete and utter trash, and we're all told lies about him. But I do think that, first of all, Bayern are winning this Bundesliga. Let's see how this all goes, because guys, they may start this Bundesliga and they may not even end. So even the whole thing of behind closed doors, just that is crazy. But for me, whatever happens, if, and we hope they finish the Bundesliga season, my money is on Bayern Munich to still say what's up. They still say what's up. The only chance that maybe Leipzig or Dortmund have is if Bayern Munich may have come back from this whole thing messed up, and I think Lewandowski is fit. I think Lewandowski is actually fit, man. All right, let's see what this guy said, man. Werner to Chelsea. Timo Werner. How good is Timo Werner? I like Timo Werner to Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong is that good. Okay. Barcelona fans just want to kid themselves that Frenkie de Jong is this superb once-in-a-lifetime talent. I saw him play for Ajax, and I've seen him play for Netherlands. Like, I watched all those Netherlands-Germany games. Frenkie de Jong, yeah. Okay, he's not this supreme super being. That's all you guys think that he's cool. Okay, he's cool. He ain't that big time, you know. And so I think that, you know, Chelsea getting Werner now, I would say no. I would say no, because if you can guarantee me 20 to 30 G's, cool. But you can't guarantee me that. Chelsea need a guaranteed 30 to 40 G player, which is why Chelsea should be all in for Aubameyang. I wouldn't mind Immobile. But I think Immobile would be far more risky than Aubameyang, because Immobile, he's doing superb for Lazio, but he bricked it up for Dortmund. So that's a risk. Aubameyang, you know that he's already, the fact that he has scored so many goals in the Premier League and in a team that is they're badly in need of a support system. He was able to be joint top scorer without any support system. Imagine what he would do if he has flipping Ziyech, the Sick, the Cheek, and all these dudes supplying and creating for him. Homie will get 50 Gs. Homie will get 50 flipping Gs this season. He'll get 50 Gs. All right, let's do that. Ragnick. Who the bloody hell is Ragnick? Ragnick. Who the frick is this dude? Ragnick. Also ex-RB Leipzig boss Ragnick confirms AC Milan approach. You know what? You know the thing is this. Okay, I'll keep it to you, bro. Okay, I'll keep it to you, bro. AC Milan might need divine intervention. I'm tired of these unknown mid-tier coaches coming into AC Milan. This is a team that had, I think, oh no, there was, I think Capello was around at one point. They had your boy Ancelotti for a long period of time. Milan need the best of the flipping best. Not only that, they need the best of the best, and they need to attract the best. So it's not enough just to get, because who knows, maybe he's the right dude and he'll help steer the ship. But AC Milan aren't a top four club. Okay, they are supposed to be a European heavyweight. These just have won like 6-7 European cups. They're supposed to be a European heavyweight, and they're acting like a mid club. So shout out to Ragnick and everything, man. But top 3 free kick takers of all time. Top three free kick takers of all time. Juninho Pernambucano has to be number 1. You've got to say David Beckham. One of the few things that's overrated dude was good at. And then maybe might say Dino. Might say either Dino or Messi. For the third one. But I think easily the top 2, like basically the third one is where you argue, but top 200% is Beckham and Junior Pernambucano. But 100% the greatest free kick take of all time is Junior Pernambucano. The guy revolutionized free kick taking, and I think his technique was copied by Cristiano, Pirlo, and many others in terms of rather than sort of curving the shot. It's about striking the shot at a very specific place. Because if you strike the shot at a very specific place, it gives it a sense of power and movement that makes it very, very difficult for the keeper to react to and even save. So that's why I'll be going for that one over there, man. So what was I saying, man? All right. Which tier is Wan-Bissaka? I'm flirting between upper tier 3 and tier 2. Because going forward, he has improved, but he isn't the most imaginative going forward. But defensively, he is quite outstanding. I can't even count the amount of times that I've seen him being beaten on a 1v1. So his ability to tackle, to win the ball, and how difficult it is to get past him, I think is huge. So I'm going to say upper tier 3. I don't want to go and say upper tier 3, but he's very close to a tier 2. I just need to see him do more. I think if we had seen him finish off and cap off the season and seen how he could have ended this season with Man United, I think maybe he could have ended it and capped it off with a tier 2. But I think as of right now, just to be fair, I'll give him an upper tier 3. But I think he's definitely one to look out for, because obviously we do love the Dani Alveses, the Alexandros, the Jessica, what was the name? Jessica Albas. But remember, a left back and right back, your first priority is to defend. A left back isn't better than another left back because he can score goals. Marcos Alonso is a pretty damn good goal scorer. Marcos Alonso can be on his day a pretty good football player. He is a horrible defender. So Marcos Alonso is an average to trash left back. It's just his strength is really more like a left wing back or an attacking dude. But as a left back, the first thing I will judge you on is how good you are defensively, man. All right, let's see what you guys are saying, man. It's so funny how guys want to throw shade. Can't you people just say nice things about me? Can't you dudes just say nice things about me? So first of all, my position for a long time was central midfield. So yes, I was fast and everything, but whenever they put me on the wing, I was a brick on the wing. My strongest position was central midfield because for me, I wanted to be in the thrust and in the throes of the football trenches. And one of the favorite things I love doing in football is a through ball. For me, a through ball gave me as much satisfaction as scoring a goal. Trust me, I loved creating for people and being imaginative to create for people and so forth. So, to keep it real, man, I was you know, like as a central midfielder, I was because I had a football IQ of flipping Einstein, man. My football IQ of flipping Einstein. Um, how good do you think Sule can be? He's one of the best defenders this season before his injury. Um, I think Sule's ceiling is tier 2, but I don't think he will get there. I think as a right now, I put him in as a tier 3. I put him in as tier 3. I don't think I can put him upper tier 3 because again, if I put him upper tier 3, that means I'm putting him next to 1-1 Bissaka, and I think defensively, I don't think he's as defensively good or consistent as a Wan Bissaka, but I think he's tier 3, very close to an upper tier 3. So yes, for me, I just see Sula. I think is a good, decent defender to have, you know, but I think you need to pair him with a strong defender. I think if you pair him with a strong defender, then he will elevate himself. But let's say if Sule is next to like a David Luiz or a Mustafi, all hell will break loose, you know. But again, look, it's fine for what Bayern have, you know, because I think for Bayern, I think they play Alaba in that sense of defense. On another, they'll be playing Boateng. I remember Boateng, who I thought was trash and done, he's been having a bit of a resurgence, you know. So, but I do think that for Bayern, it might be risky what they're doing. If you want to win a CL, and because Alaba is not a natural centre back. Obviously, he's been moved in there because Alphonso Davies has been someone in left back. But for me, I don't like the central defensive position is so important. I'm not a fan of putting guys in there who are not naturally adept on that position. You know, you may do that with a striker, winger, so forth. But central defender, no, you have to have guys who've been playing that thing since the umbilical cord was cut off from the belly button, man. That's how you got to roll with those things, man. I'm Critic, man. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support of your boy HH doing your thing, man. So he says, Critic says best season by a forward not named Messi or Cristiano in the last decade. Also, since you missed my last super chat, your Ballon d'Or for the year 2018. All right. So is video Ballon d'Or? If it's Ballon d'Or, then okay. And I assume that video means Ballon d'Or. So Ballon d'Or for the year 2018. What happened in 2018? So 2018 was the World Cup, wasn't it? So for the year of 2018, I'm still going to ride with Modric. Based on what he did in the Champions League and based on what he did at the World Cup. You know, I would love to give it to Zad, but going to give it to Modric. All of you clowns saying that, oh no, he didn't deserve it and all that kind of crap. You sad, good for nothing losers who have nothing better to do than clutch onto Cristiano and Messi winning every single Ballon d'Or. Go screw yourselves. Modric did deserve it. He deserved the Ballon d'Or for that 2018 year. Best season by forward, not named Messi or Cristiano in the last decade. I think we sort of mentioned this before. You have to roll with what the Cannibal did. So best season, not year, best season, yeah. I think was it 13-14 season that the Cannibal had with Liverpool. That was an outstanding season. Although if we look closer at that season, as amazing as he was, his record against the top 3 or top 4 teams wasn't very good. I don't think he ever scored against the top 3 teams. But despite that, some of the goals he scored, some of the things that he did as an individual, he almost pretty much carried Liverpool to a Premier League title. So just as a season for what he did, I think that's amazing. And other ones that Lewandowski right now is having a very good season. Lewandowski, well, so last decade. So this one kind of would this count? You know, not it would count because this is 2019, 2020. So if this season would count because it's still the 2019, I think it's just a shame that we didn't finish the season. Because if we finished the season, I think this Lewandowski season is crazy. I believe, because I think we checked on the football dog, I believe he has scored more goals than games played. So I think your boy Roberto has scored more goals than games played, man. Thank you for that, bro. Let's see what else guys said, man. So HH, arrange these midfielders in order of greatness. Scholes, Xavi, Iniesta, Kroos, Modric, KDB. So the key thing for your question there is greatness. That is the key thing for your question there is greatness. So from less great to most great, I'm going to start with KDB. Then I'm going to go with Toni Kroos. Now I'm going to go to KDB. Then I'm going to go with Scholes. So KDB, Scholes, Toni Kroos, Modric, then I'll probably say Xavi and Iniesta. So that's where it goes. So yes, so KDB, Scholes, Kroos, Modric, Xavi, Iniesta. That's how I roll. That's how I roll, man. The dude saying Scholes, man. You know, you're like, how is Scholes number one? All right, man. Let's bring in your boy, man. I think we can actually bring in your boy Red, man. Let's bring in your boy Red. Let's have a nice conversation, shall we? Bring in your boy Red. Wait, how are you saying? You see, for me, Xavi and Iniesta, it can be either or. It can be either or. With Xavi and Iniesta, it can be either or, man. So that's always really crazy, man. I want to see from someone that I'm not seeing, man. Controversial, bro. Controversial. Look, I love Kovacic and everything. See, but now, if you're talking about now, we can have a serious conversation. Overall, hell no. But you must be referring to that. If you were referring to now, you may have something. All right, what are we doing here? There you go. All right, your boy has it now. All right, so Red, if you're out there, I have sent you the link. Red, I have sent you the link. Because Modric can still kick it. But can he kick it? Yes, he can. But I will still say Kovacic. Kovacic for sure. Kovacic for sure. Salah, yeah. Top 3 in 2018, yeah, sure. I mean, Salah, yeah, you could argue, based on the goals he scored, you could argue, but he definitely didn't deserve it. No way, you know, because the World Cup always holds extra weighting. And it's unlucky that Salah is with Egypt, but the World Cup will always hold extra weighting, man. All right, let's just see, man. I think I might have mentioned this before, man. Best tackle or challenge of the past decade. For me, it's Mascherano against Robben. That was a damn good tackle, but for me, the best tackle, not really the past decade, one of the best tackles I've ever seen is Bart Simpson on Marcelo in the 7-1 Lara Crofting. What he did, that last ditch tackle was absolute insanity. Absolutely. Yo, Red, what up, baby?
Yo, what's going on, HH? How's it going?
Yeah, good, man. How you doing, man? Welcome. So we're welcoming you here, Red, for a nice Q&A. So obviously, Red, we're just answering questions. We're kicking back, taking things easy. You know, I'm offering our insights. So I said, so my best tackle challenge, I just told them that was Bart Simpson, World Cup semi 2014 against Marcelo. Go to YouTube and look it up. Insane tackle. So what about you, Red?
To be honest with you, I'm thinking the job Nesta and Maldini did on Ronaldo in Manchester United in 2007. because there was some crazy tackles by Nesta. Now, he had one particular on Ronaldo where he just locked him down. They shut him up. They shut both Messi and Ronaldo up that campaign. So I can't one particular one like I'm thinking. I just that match just keeps coming to my mind because that was like a defensive masterclass.
Okay. So from your boy Jonas, it says, should Arsenal say yes to Inter wanting to do a swap deal between Aubameyang and Icardi if Martinez goes to Barcelona? They don't want Icardi back now that Uber Eats is finished. So let me kick it off and I'll give it to Red.
No, HH, absolutely not.
Wait, okay, let me just.
I misheard you.
So, no, because Aubameyang is a better goal scorer than Icardi. Now, Icardi, I really rate Icardi very highly and so forth, but Aubameyang works too well. He works too well for Arsenal right now. Because again, if that swap deal goes through, Inter Milan will win from that swap deal. So, and also again, so for me, first of all, I don't know how the swap deal will work because again, Lukaku and see that's the thing for me. So even if Lautaro Martinez is going through, I don't know how it's going to work with a Lukaku Aubameyang strike partnership. If that would work, whether Lukaku now go out wide. But if you're Inter Milan and Lautaro Martinez is going, that is a swap deal that I would entertain. But if you're Arsenal, you don't want to lose Aubameyang. Because as much as I rate Icardi, I still rate Aubameyang as a far better, more reliable goal scorer than Icardi.
Do you want to give my
take? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, they should. This is awful for Arsenal. The last thing Arsenal need is a slow striker. Like you could see what happened with Lacazette. Lacazette's his on the ball his on the ball ability is actually incredible, but just because his poor finishing and he's just not physical enough for the Prem. I feel like Icardi shares a lot of those same traits, except Icardi's even worse on the ball than Lacazette. So personally, they should not. He's just not the profile player that the player profile that Arsenal should be looking for right now. And plus Aubameyang, I don't think he's going to be leaving Arsenal because nobody's going to be offering him the wages that Arsenal offer him. So his best bet.
What about PSG?
No, why would you want to go to PSG and be second fiddle? Because you're going to be just in Neymar and Mbappe's shadow, and then also there's Cavani there because I don't know if they're going to let go of Cavani. If Aubameyang
no, because remember Cavani wanted to leave. Cavani was almost on his way out. On that last day of the transfer market, he was on his way out.
Why did he want to leave? Because he wasn't getting playing time, which is what's going to happen with Aubameyang. He's going to be makeshifted to a winger. And the thing is look, Aubameyang's in the twilight of his career. He's got maybe 2-3 more seasons than him. That's it at maximum. So he wants to maximize those efforts. If he's going to move to a club, look, if Juve come knocking, yes, Aubameyang go to Juventus because Higuain is on his way out. You go to Juve. He's actually he's the player profile that Juve usually get, a player that's sort of in the twilight of his career. He still has 1 or 2, 3 seasons in him. So I think that's a much more fitting move for Aubameyang. And plus, because Juve are getting rid of Douglas Costa and Cuadrado's really not being utilized as an attacker anymore, they kind of need that pace up front. So Aubameyang could be very helpful there.
Okay.
That for me makes sense. But to Inter, it makes no sense because Inter don't even play with wingers. They play with wingbacks and 2 strikers, and they already have Lautaro and Lukaku. Which why would they mix up a working chemistry just to bring in Aubameyang? It doesn't make sense.
All right, let's see. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening here. Actually, let's go with Nigeria. Chukwueze in the next Robben. Now, look, I'm a huge fan of your boy Chukwueze, man. But you know how I feel about Robben. What I've always said, and I even saw this when I saw this for Villarreal, and I saw his highlight reel for Villarreal. And remember that 4-4 game when they played against Barcelona. He has a similar playing style to Robben, i.e., he wants to get that thing on his left foot. And what I would even say for Chukwueze is he should call up Robben and just say, "Look, man, teach me the ropes and everything." For me, Chukwueze doesn't have to be the next anything. He just has to be the next him. And I always hate people sort of say, "Oh, this guy's gonna be like the next Baggio, the next Okocha, the next Dino." No, just be the next you. Because you yourself is an individual and you are unique and you're one of one. So for me there will never be another Robben. because as I said, there's only one. Robben is perhaps the most unique player we've possibly ever seen, based on just how greedy and single-minded he was, how he could pretty much win a game all on his own because he was so greedy. So I don't think we'll ever see a player that's had such a signature move and a trademark move. So for Chukwueze, all I want for him is pick the right club because Villarreal ain't long term. That's not how we do. Wait, buy the moment, improve yourself. He has to improve his finishing. Sometimes his finishing can be erratic. Improve your finishing, add more to your game, add more variables to your game, and then make you move. Because I do think that because it's an exciting time for Nigeria right now. We've got some very good young players I'm very excited about. But I need Chukwueze just to clean up his game at Villarreal, because once he makes that big move to a big club, I want him to be at the very best so he fully succeeds when he makes the move to a big club. Right?
For Chukwueze. Yeah, to be honest with you, HH, I kind of agree with you. I think I disagree with the Villarreal part. I feel like he should ball at Villarreal. Don't go for the first big money move you get. Because he's incredibly talented.
I said, when the time is right, man. When the time is right.
Yeah, because he's very young. He's doing very well in Villarreal's system. Also, the La Liga is actually very good for his caliber of player because he's very technical. So to be able to really be able to, pick up some things during this time of his career, it's going to help him it's going to help him later on down the line. So personally, I think he should ball out at Villarreal, and I think he could easily go to any team in the top 6 in the Prem. I think Arsenal should inspect him because Arsenal needs some wingers. Arsenal definitely needs some wingers, and Chukwueze is he's phenomenal. He's a great winger, very technical, very skilled, has a lot of flair, unpredictable. He does have his disaster classes because when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But he's very young, so I feel like that's just going to come with his game more so. So I feel like he has the Prem written all over him. I don't think he's going to go to Real or Barca. I don't think Bayern also would probably or Bundesliga would be a good fit for him. I think the Prem would be perfect for him.
All right. Shout out to your boy. I'm just a critic for Super Chat, bro. Talk about Diego Forlan in 2010 World Cup. Very underrated. Let me speak on this. I'm opening up a can of worms. But look, guys, it's a Friday night. Come for me. I don't care. What Forlan did at that 2010 World Cup is more than what Cristiano and Messi have done combined in all of their World Cups. That is the very definition of showing up for your country. Uruguay are not a heavyweight. They're not a flipping heavyweight. But Forlan was like, when need be, I'm going to come clutch. His free kick against Ghana was insane. Muntari's goal was superb as well, but that free kick was insane. And he also scored as well in the same as well. So he scored against Ghana, he scored in the same, and I think he may have even scored before. Forlan was on one at that World Cup, and I think he might have even scored in the third place playoffs as well. So he was superb. He was absolutely insanely, totally superb. And that is one of the most, I liken that to what Suke did with Croatia. Or maybe I liken that to what Stoichkov did with Bulgaria in '94 and what Suke did with Croatia in '98. Where who the heck is Bulgaria? Who the hell is Croatia? But they had to rely on a hero who helped elevate what was pretty much an unknown team. Yeah, Uruguay may have been huge and massive in the early 30s or something, but coming into before 2010, and that's the thing. That 2010 Uruguay performance that was led by Forlan helped re-energize and reintroduce people to Uruguay as a footballing nation and led to them winning their Copa America and so forth. Prior to 2010, they were just like, yeah, they're just these South American guys that would just get knocked out. So people need to put some respect to what Forlan did. And I think Cristiano and Messi have a lot to learn from what Forlan. I think, look, Forlan should just help tutor Cristiano and Messi. So look, do you want to know how to come clutch in a World Cup knockouts? I'll help you. So guys, Cristiano and Messi, give Forlan a call so he can help you. Red.
Yeah, I mean, in that World Cup is actually, it's not just that World Cup. He had the whole stint from when he went to Atletico in 2008 up until 2012, where Forlan was just among the most lethal strikers in the world. Because the only thing is you mentioned the World Cup. I also mentioned the Copa America. The Copa America 2011, they won it. Dodgy due to him. I believe he scored a brace. I think in the final, I can't really remember, to be honest with you, but he's always been a lethal striker. But my thing is with Forlan is that his career was very inconsistent, very, very, very inconsistent. Like,
no. Wait, Boren. Aren't you correct? Just said that's World Cup.
oh, that World Cup, no, that's
Yes, so again, like, look, who the hell talks about Forlan with regards to his career? No,
yeah. No, if it's just that World Cup, if it's just that World Cup, then I would probably it's an iconic performance. Like he's legendary because of that performance. Because if like I would put that on par with let's see, like it could be because I'm trying to think of that Spain, like Fabregas's performance for Spain in 2010, like overall. I would put Forlan in that ilk because for me Fabregas was very stand out for Spain in 2010. It's you know what? Because I'm trying to think. Because like, would you rate that performance above, let's say, for example, Eden Hazard's or Modric in 2018?
So what?
Would you rate Forlan's performance like? Because if we're going to rate it, let's say out of 10, right? What would you give it out of 10? Because for me, I think.
Oh no. For a performance, 9.
I'd give him a 7.5, like a strong 7, light 8.
Forlan.
Yes.
So say his performance throughout the World Cup?
Yeah.
Because for me, the reason why I say an 8.5 or a 9 is I put several factors in. When did you come clutch? When did you seize the moment for your country? How good is your country? What were the dynamics in the match that you were playing in with how good your team was? So those are all the things I put into account. So because it was my mind, because I was saying sometimes that, wait, who the hell are Uruguay? Who are these dudes? And these guys were coming through. And look, I think it was 3-2 against Holland. I think he scored the goal to make it 3-2, like in the last few minutes in the semis. So this guy in every knockouts game was saying what's up. And you know how I roll. I'm about the big games. I'm not about the small games. Can you say what's up in the biggest games?
Yeah, like it's like I'm thinking about because like if you remember even in that World Cup, like that was the World Cup that really announced Suarez to the world. Because I remember like Suarez scored in the round of 16. I'm pretty sure he scored he won the game for them. It was single hit. I think he scored 2 goals. Right? Like Forlan, he was clutch, but like I feel like looking at it.
No. I think that was 2014 when he scored 2 goals against England.
No. Suarez in 2010, he scored a brace. I'm 100% sure. I remember because
Cavani was also big as well. I think Cavani that was when we got introduced to Cavani, and also Cavani as well, because Cavani was very good as well in that 2010 World
Cup. Oh no, I remember Cavani and Forlan both scored in the 3rd place matchup. They both against Germany. In the playoff. I do remember that. Like, but I don't remember Cavani. Honestly, I remember Suarez more. Suarez was legendary, of course, because what he did against Ghana. But like, also, I remember Suarez also scored a brace, if I'm not mistaken, in either the quarters or the round of 16.
All right, okay, wait. Let's see this other super chat. So your boy, said, Red HH just disrespected Paul Scholes. Get him, bro. So let me ask you this, Red. Okay, so
1 second. I'm just going to switch to my laptop. Give me 1 quick second. You can talk. I'm listening.
No. So this, I was given a question, and they were like, rate these dudes. I think it was Cruz, KDB, Scholes, Xavi, Iniesta, Modric, and all right. So it was supposed to rate these dudes. So it was like KDB, Kroos, Modric, Scholes, all these dudes. And I said, well, I'm not. And I said, in terms of greatness, Scholes isn't greater than Xavi. He isn't greater than Iniesta. He isn't greater than Toni Kroos. The only guy he's greater than in that poll is KDB. Because again, greatness, not ability. Greatness. My gosh, I need your trophies. The iconic moments you've had, the big games you've had, the big moments that you've delivered in. Hence why Iniesta and Xavi have to sit at the top of the tree based on what they've done in the Champions League, in the Euros, in the World Cup, and also their impact. The key thing is all greatness is also your impact as well. Your impact and your iconic moments. Xavi and Iniesta have those in spades. So Am I crazy that saying that like the only guy that scores can really say what? And also for Toni Kroos as well, is like, I'm sorry, he was part of the three-peat CL. He was part of a World Cup winning team. Modric, he led his Croatia team to a flipping World Cup final. He was also part of a three-peat. So greatness puts everything in the play, and schools can't say what's up to what Kroos has done, what Dric has done, what Xavi has done, and what Iniesta has done. He can't say what's up to those dudes.
Here's the thing: it's just like I do. The thing is, I agree with you. Like if I were to rank them, I would put it number one, Xavi, Iniesta, like either or. Number two would be Kroos, Modric, either or. Three would be Scholes, four would be KDB. Like, so I do agree exactly with your list. But the only reason why that's hard because, like, Scholes club wise, it's actually incredible. Like he won 2 European Cups, one of them being a treble, and that was part of a youth system, not like with a big money team at the time in the 99. Of course, the abundance of league titles he has 2 3-peats under his belt, league 3-peats. Xavi and Iniesta don't even have that. Kroos and Modric don't have that. He does have incredible accolades, but like when you're comparing them to these players, like Kroos, Iniesta, Modric, and Xavi are just so much more accomplished across the board. Like, I mean, like club and country. That's why, like, when we're talking about in terms of greatness, you can't compare like those 4 are always going to be a level above him. It kind of sucks because Scholes is an incredible midfielder. Like that, his passing range was incredible. But the only criticism I have of Scholes is he didn't have the stamina. Like he would tire out real quick. He's not really a workhorse. Even though he was sort of played almost like a workhorse. So yeah, like I feel like you're being very fair. Like if you were being harsh, you would have put KDB above him. But no, I feel like that's
that's
impossible. They're not comparable.
So can Sane and Gnabry be a more effective partnership than Robben and Ribery, especially with them being less selfish and helping Lewandowski? I'll let you start with this, Red.
No. Like, look, they're going to be different. You can't compare the two. Like, it's sort of like when Madrid got rid of Ronaldo, how people were like, "Oh, we need the next Ronaldo." You can't get the next Ronaldo. That's it. You got that one player. He did his thing. He did whatever that is Ronaldo. You cannot replace that kind of player. Same thing with Ribery and Robben. They're an iconic duo. Like they've held Bayern down for the past decade, from 2010 to 2020, 2019. They have been like wingers inside. They actually were part of the reason that inside forwards are even popularized nowadays. So to be, I'm not going to disrespect them by saying like, oh, Gnabry and Sane are going to be able to emulate what they did. They have a lot of work ahead of them. They're definitely talented enough. Like I think Sane is one of the most underrated players on the planet right now. Like he's just skill-wise, speed, technique, finishing, and not only that, he's also very clutch. I've seen countless performances for Sane where he's just like clutched it for City, whether in the last minute where he's scoring a winner. All right. So but I'm not going to disrespect Robben and Ribery because, like I said, like those two are. Like they're legends of the game. Like the consistency that they had for Bayern Munich is insane. Like Bayern Munich were pretty much always in the quarters or semis, and we're always top 1 or 2 in Bundesliga while they're there. So like the standard is just so high. So like let's say for example next year, let's say Bayern don't win the league, they finish second, right? Dortmund win it, RB Leipzig win it, whoever wins it. Are people going to all of a sudden say, "Oh, they're trash"? Or not because they're not Robben and Ribery? No, it's just that it's big shoes to fill. It's going to take a while to really emulate that kind of chemistry and emulate that kind of style of play.
Okay, this is a tricky one because you said effective, and that's the key thing. Not better, effective. The better partnership will always be Robben Ribery or Rodri. Will always be better. But I just think that if, for instance, if you give me the very best of Gnabry and the very best of Sane, now it's not dependent on what a 30-year-old, over 30-year-old Lewandowski can do. Because if, let's say, you give me the best of Gnabry and the best of a Ribery, the best of Gnabry and the very best of a Sane with a 26, 27-year-old Lewandowski, oh my gosh, I'd be very interested. Because look, Robben is money and is my guy. Robben was damn selfish. He didn't know how to cross the ball. He didn't understand he couldn't spell cross. And Lewandowski, he wouldn't say in problem. Lewandowski in Prague would be like, man, screw that bald-headed prick. Because he never passed him the ball. So it's dependence on what's more Lewandowski can we have. Well, this season, his numbers are insane, and he's having an absolutely outstanding season. So an argument can be made. Again, not better. They wouldn't be better, but an argument can be made that they could be more effective in terms of they can score, but they can create as well, because Sane and Gnabry, especially Gnabry, they are very much about giving, and they're very much about finding good crosses and actually good supply chains into the box. So if Lewandowski can still has something to say, Lewandowski has something to say. Oh my gosh, yeah, like they have the potential. I think that's always it. They have the potential to say what's up. They have the potential to say what's up. Just got this in. Hey, Armchair Critic with the super chat says, how's Bex overrated? Nobody says he's a legend. Armchair, maybe you don't know, but in circles that I go with and I go around, many people really rate this dude. And yes, they call him a legend. I have met people that would say David Jeremiah Beckham is a legend. I have said this and I'll say it again. David Beckham is without a doubt the most overrated player of all time.
I disagree, HH. I actually I can't
He's the most overrated player of all time, because no, Red, look, the thing is that Bex, see, perfect. I'm happy to give you this. Same thing with Rooney. I'm happy to say that he's a United legend. A footballing legend? A legend of the game? Hell no. I'm going to say something real. And you're going to agree or disagree, but I'll say something real. I'll kick it to Red. If David Beckham didn't look the way he looked like, people wouldn't see him in the same way. He was a marketer's dream. His look, which could be appealed to women and to men, and the fact of the matter where there were specific things in football that he was actually good at. That's all we need. As a player, as a footballer, trash, average. Bro, I don't know anybody who could cross the ball better than Bex. That guy can put the ball right on your eyeball from 40 yards out at the corner flag. So a specific little roles in football, he was amazing. But as an overall footballer, okay, I'm going to give you the ball, do something, make something happen with you with the ball at your feet. Nah, bro, Bex can do it. All I can do is just cross the ball and do free kicks. That's it, bro. And maybe occasionally score the odd goal here and there. But it was a package of the free kicks, the crossing, his look. Go to Japan. Japan, who are obsessed with white blonde people. Bex is literally like a demigod in Japan. He was a marketer's dream, and he was all about marketing, And before people say, oh, but your GOAT said that Bex could play in the Brazilian team. R9 is a happy-go-lucky dude. And R9 is a very nice dude. R9 would probably say that I could play in the Philippine Brazil team because he's just a nice guy saying stuff. If you took R9 in private, he'd be like, Bex wouldn't sniff that 98 team boss. He wouldn't even be on the cleaning team for the 98 team. But Bex did what he did. Red.
I mean, I think you're being harsh, HH. Like, the way I like to classify Bex is he was overrated when he was active and underrated in retirement. I feel like people don't give him the credit he deserves, because yes, you are right. A big reason why he was amped up more so a lot is because of his looks. He had that aura. He had that brand name. He was one of the Galacticos. He's used for marketing. But at the same time, it's very disingenuous to really say that he was only Beckham in his prime was very quick. He was very pacey, and on top of that, his delivery was incredible. I'll give you guys a match to specifically highlight Bex's ability. Look up 1999 Champions League group stage, Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. This is not the final because they played in the final, but this one is in the group stage. They played. Bex was man of the match that game. Every single day, all the danger came just from him. Not only that, Bex also his physical attributes are very underrated. He was very lethal. He was very good in the air. He was always winning aerial balls. He was very quick. He was strong on the ball. And even when he came to Madrid, he was shifted from a winger to a midfielder, and even adapted very properly due to his delivery, because his long balls. And even in 2006-7 season,
Red was he as good as people say he was? Yes.
Yeah, well, how I don't really see a lot of people naming him in top 10s or top 15s. So if you're saying Bex is a top 30 player, I mean,
okay. Is he a football legend?
a football, to be honest with you, HH, by default, yes.
What?
Yeah. No, HH, look. Hear me out. 1999, Bex arguably was robbed of the Ballon d'Or. 99. Like Rivaldo had a great season, but Bex was the one with the bigger moments, with the bigger achievements. Not only that, like Bex to this day is on the Premier League's top 10 assisters. I think he's 6th or 7th, maybe. He saw his records held up in the Prem. He's accomplished. He's won 3 different league titles in 3 different countries. 4 if you count the MLS. If anybody wants to rate the MLS,
right?
So like I think overall he's got a chapter in the football history books.
Are you trying to convince me that you're making an argument that David Beckham deserved the Ballon d'Or over Rivaldo?
That season, yes. Why did Rivaldo win that? Why did Rivaldo win the 99 Ballon d'Or? Here, Rivaldo, 1999. I'm going to Google it right now. 1999 season. Rivaldo was he was 2nd top goal scorer. They won the double La Liga and the Copa del Rey, and that's it. Beckham won a treble. Like, I mean, like Rivaldo's the better player, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Beckham is better than Rivaldo, but as an individual season, Beckham.
Red. The Ballon d'Or isn't how many trophies did your team win? The Ballon d'Or is an individual trophy of what did you do as an individual. That's why Van Dijk didn't deserve it over Messi. Van Dijk had an amazing thing, but as an individual, Messi did a flipping one-man carrying job for Barcelona. Van Dijk was amazing. You were part of a damn amazing team. Beckham, you played your role in a damn amazing. Bex, you went to the standouts.
No, but he did in that season, like in what's it called? That season, he did win UEFA Footballer of the Year and UEFA Midfielder of the Year. Like that season, it was his best individual season to date. Pardon?
Rivaldo on his worst day is better than Bex on his best day. This is Rivaldo.
Oh no, absolutely. No, look. Rivaldo is a different like level of baller. Like, of course, I would always rate up a baller like Rivaldo over Beckham, right? But when we're talking about like, look, there's street football, which like when you're talking about technique, skill, flair, ingenuity, like essentially when you're just creative in your craft, Rivaldo's absolutely up there. But when we're talking about like the actual sport, when the numbers and stats and all those have to come into play, and then trophies and the platform that you're on, at that point, sometimes the best footballers don't get credited. Hence why, for example, Neymar doesn't have a Ballon d'Or. Hence why, example, Hazard doesn't have a Ballon d'Or. Hence why, like, there are seasons where Ronaldo would just show up and just score in the knockout stages, and he would win the trophy, even though he wasn't as skilled of a footballer, but because he was more effective as a footballer, he showed up when it mattered. He won the game. It might not be pleasing to the eye, like on the eye test, but he got it done. And for those reasons, he would win the Ballon d'Or over them. Despite, for example, let's just say 2016 Neymar is a better footballer than 2016. No, well, 2016 Ronaldo was actually pretty good. 2017 Neymar was better than 2017 Ronaldo. That's fair. But Ronaldo was just a more clutch player. He was a more big game player. So for that reason, Ronaldo was player of the year that season. He won the Ballon d'Or. That's the logic I'm using for Beckham, is that yes, Rivaldo is the better baller. Rivaldo is the better footballer overall. But that season, Beckham was more effective. Beckham was the clutch one for his team, the clutch player for his team that really got them over the line. And that's
over this season, he was better than Rivaldo. You're going to stand by that?
I mean, but HH, yes, overall, yes. I'm gonna have to stand by it. Like I already made that statement. I'm gonna get killed in the comments probably, but like I really believe that like Beckham is underrated. Like overall.
Do you know what I've learned? What I've learned is I have no idea. I could very well put that thing out and people can say, oh no, Bex deserved it. Red, in today's world, some of the things I've heard people say, bro, I can't vouch for anything these days. So
honestly, same.
so look, you could. All I know is me. I can't vouch for what the streets say because the streets is messed these days. I thought I knew the streets. I don't know the streets. Okay, let me hit this. So Gatlock, thank you, bro. Zizou hails Zad. HH, yes. R9 hails Bex. HH ignores. Now let me explain this. When Zidane made that quote, it was a very definitive quote, and it was a quote that I used to pretty much defeat and lubricate Hazem's garbage arguments about Salah being a goal scorer. His statement was a definitive statement of a player's technical brilliance from one of the most technically superior players ever. R9 in a flipping Instagram live chat during a flipping pandemic where we need to raise people's hopes up was about, hey man, let's just say nice things because we're living in a flipping pandemic. Even Beck said, I knew you guys were joking when you were saying that stuff. Bex knows. And Beck just says, you're just saying that because I'm a nice guy. And look, let me be real. Beckham looks like for me, he comes across as a great guy. And he's definitely a guy who I know for sure people will just want to like. And when you want to like a guy, you don't want to say bad things about him. You will lie to his face. And Anna was like, I am lying to you because I like you, because I want to just say nice things about you. In seriousness, R9 doesn't rate that flipping model. Okay, so this is a fact. So I mean, Red, am I crazy here? You're Red. All right, I think he's on the thingy. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying, man. Your boy Sergio, give me those likes. Sergio, give
me. My bad. I was just gonna say, HH. I saw that, but which Brazilian team was he talking about? The 2006 or 2002? Because like either or, I don't think Beckham gets into any of those teams. Like,
no. I think he's referring to I think it was the 98 or the 02 Brazil team.
02 Brazil team, because like if we're talking about 02, at that time Beckham was a right winger, and I really feel like stylistically even he wouldn't even fit Brazil's like profile at all, because Beckham relied on a team that like really required physique. He only worked in Madrid with R9 and the rest of the players because he was made more as a central midfielder, and he had to give more through balls and instead of just crosses. So I don't feel like he would have been effective at all. I don't think he would make it at all into that. I don't know why R9 even said that. Like, why would he even say that? Like, it's not against him as a player. Like, that he's bad. It's just that
he was staying around and I'm trying to be nice, man. There was a really good. There we go. This is. Oh, I like this. This is a good question. R9 and Dinho or Messi and Maradona? Oh, for me, it's easy. And it's R9 and Dinho. As good as Messi and Maradona are, because remember, so you're saying it's based on like, okay, which kind of duo would I want in my team? Messi and Maradona, super players. They're both short. They're both small. They're both left-footed. And they both lean a lot on their left foot. R9 and Dinho are guys who are, they're right-footed, but they can also use their left foot as well. They don't lean too much on their right foot. And it's a better balance you get with R9 and Dinho. Dinho, the creator, R9, the finisher, who can also be technically good. But for Messi and Maradona, yes, Messi can finish, can score goals, but like I'm going to get more fear and more intensity from an R9 than I am from like a Messi. So I just think in a Messi and Maradona, I can create a defense that can stop them. Pick Annan and pick Dinho, I've got to hope for divine intervention. Pick Annan and pick Dinho.
Yeah, like they're just
intervention, bro. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I tried to play devil's advocate, but like I just don't see how if you get, because Messi and Maradona are virtually identical, both short, left-footed. They pretty much both occupy the same position. There's not much diversity there. They're a bit predictable. So I would definitely go for Ronaldinho and R9, like especially if we're talking about like both in their primes, like Ronaldinho 2004, 2006, R9 98, like or like 96 to 90, 2000. Like I would definitely go for those, just because you have lethal finishing, you have speed, you have power, you have physique, you have technique. They have it all really. Whereas Messi, if it's 11v11, you pick those two. I guess it would make sense because Messi would just make it up. But overall, if you just like a 5v5, I would pick R9 and Ronaldinho.
You know what? I think Red, since you're a Madrid fan, let's have an honest conversation. Are you ready for an honest conversation?
I'm down.
Good. Now, I don't know whether Jovic broke his foot or not.
He did. Oh my God, so embarrassing.
That's
He
all.
did.
So he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. His leg is broken. He showed up with a broken leg.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not, because it speaks for itself. I want to talk about Jovic. Red, let's get real. It's Friday night. It's 2020. We're living in crazy times. I'm living in crazy times. I'm tired of this BS. Hence why I'm going to be doubling down on my Messi, Cristiano, international flop, lack of World Cup things, because this pandemic has made me even more focused and more sharper, It's no BS. Jovic is a flop, and Jovic will never come good. Madrid fans need to accept this. This isn't the successor to Benzema. This is a club who had Raul, R9 Ronaldo, went over to Benzema, and they can't go from those kinds of strikers to flipping Jovic. Now, Jovic, I feel he's a tier 2 level striker who should be playing for tier 2 teams, and he'd be pretty good. So Jovic at a Sevilla, at a Valencia, at a Leipzig, at a Roma, Inter, yeah. Jovic, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, PSG, Juventus, Liverpool. He just isn't. And you can tell these things. You can tell if a guy, yeah, he's that dude. He's really that dude. Because again, let's be real. We also saw what Benzema was doing for Lyon. Benzema was going insane for Lyon. Was Jovic really that amazing at Frankfurt to warrant to be, you are now going to be our first choice striker for Real Madrid?
He wasn't. He was actually very average.
Yes. So where do you stand honestly on Jovic? Or do you still have anything?
Look, when I never really liked the signing initially, like I wasn't really too sold on him because if you remember Lion Tamer, right? Like Lion Tamer, he follows Bundesliga, and he was telling me about Jovic. He was telling me that from like February till the end of the season, he never scored in the league. He was living off of his Europa League competition. Like most of the goals that he had in the league came in the first half of the season. Then he kind of ghosted, like he ghosted. But in Europa League, the match that really solidified him was when against Chelsea, when I think he scored a brace at Stamford Bridge, and that really what put him on everybody's radar, and he became rated instantly. Now, if you compare that to, let's say, for example, the last young number 9 that Madrid bought, which was Benzema. Benzema was tearing it up in Ligue 1. Benzema had knocked out Manchester United. Benzema had a couple of notable big performances in the Champions League, not just Europa League. He had won league titles. He was coveted as one of the most talented young players in the world. And he had a couple of seasons under his belt. Jovic doesn't have that. My only issue with Jovic is that he does not have the mentality or the desire to really break into the team at all. Like, how are you in quarantine at home and you show up 2 months after a 2-month vacation? You show up with a broken foot. Like how? Like how do you do that?
No, Red. For that, you get sold.
Like honestly, no, absolutely. Like this is inexcusable.
That is so unprofessional. You get sold.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's crunch time right now. Like if the leagues do come back, which they're saying they want to bring them back next month, that means the rotation is going to be mandatory because games are going to be played literally every 3 days, every 4 days. You're going to have games played. So now our only backup striker or elite backup striker, not counting Mariano, is now injured. So we're going to have Madrid fans that hate Benzema. Guys, well, enjoy watching Benzema for the next 2 months missing sitters. I love Benzema, but just saying. It's honestly a hell. It's like I don't understand how he could mess up this badly. Like, how could you do this? Like and that's not the only thing. He's been controversial for the past couple of months because even when they told him not to leave his house, he actually left his house. And in Serbia, he was wanted for a while because he the police had to make sure that he stays inside. I don't know. His lack of professionalism really hurts because you cannot have that kind of mentality when you play at clubs at the elite level. You could do that stuff at Roma. You could do that stuff at Dortmund. You could do that stuff not Dortmund's a bit more harsher, but like players have had history where they disrespect the club like that. When you go to Barcelona, Madrid, Bayern, you go to United, Chelsea, you don't really have second chances. You mess up once, that's it. Your reputation with the fans, your reputation in the media, you're going to be scrutinized. Now, all of a sudden, like look at what happened to Dembele. Dembele was under the same scrutiny. Dembele is an incredibly talented player. Comes to Barcelona, underwhelming, injuries, lack of professionalism. Now he's hated by everybody. You'll find some fans that rate him. Look at Morata at Chelsea. Comes in, rated, had a 20-plus goal season the year before. Lack of professionalism, bad mentality. All of a sudden gets a bit of criticism, couldn't handle it, and now he wants like he ended up like going on loan in his prime. So like Jovic is just falling to that same caliber. Like you more so, you can have all the talent in the world, you can have all the facilities, all the money, you can have the best players around you. If you don't have the mentality or the desire or like like you're not going to achieve anything. You're not like, and that's what's happening with Jovic.
You're telling the story of Balotelli.
So many players, Quaresma, Balotelli. Like there's so many players that have that quality that just don't.
I think Quaresma was maybe a bit unlucky. I think
no, he went to Barca.
I think yes, there was maybe a mentality thing, but Quaresma, I think, is a bit like Riquelme. I just think he didn't find the right team. But he didn't find the right team and the right situation to maximize what he could do. I think Balotelli was like, Balotelli, you had all the right managers, all the right teams, all the right setups, the right environments. It was all on you.
Yep. No, but see, the thing is with HH about Quaresma, why I disagree is because I vividly remember, like, back in the day, the conversations we used to have is Quaresma versus Ronaldo, who was the better player, right? That was a common. There was no Ronaldo Messi. It was Quaresma Ronaldo, and you guys could even, to all the people in the chat, you can go to old football forums from like 2002, 2003, 2004. And you would see these 2005 even, you'd see these conversations where people had between these two. And everyone would always say Quaresma was a superior player. He's a better free kick taker. He's more flair. He was quicker. He was more effective, everything. And he even got the big money move first. He went to Barcelona immediately. But even at Barca, he flopped. And why did he flop? Is because he just wasn't up to their caliber. And this wasn't even a good Barca side. This was in 2000. This was at Rijkaard's Barca. Barca from 2000 till 2004, they were not good. Deportivo La Coruña won the league. Valencia won the league. Real Madrid won the league twice, but Barca weren't winning anything at that time. And he just couldn't. He didn't make it. He couldn't make it. And in the end, I think they sold him off, and I think they got Ronaldinho. And you could obviously history, like the rest is history, of course. So like. He had a lack of desire, and even after he started getting moved to all these other clubs, he never delivered at any of them. He never really like he got very, very lucky that he was part of that Euro 2016 squad, because being part of that Euro 2016 squad added something to his legacy. So his career
he came in clutch against Croatia.
He definitely did. He definitely did. And even the World Cup, didn't he score like an amazing goal against Uruguay where they lost? All right.
So let's listen. So why do you guys think people get so happy when their country wins a World Cup? I get football is a big sport, but why does this happen? Why doesn't this happen with other sports? Well, I think it's simple as that. Look, this is the biggest sport in the world. Football is the greatest sport in the world. It is the biggest sport in the world. That's why it's called the World Cup. You see, you have the Cricket World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. It's not called the Football World Cup or the Soccer World Cup. It's just called the World Cup. It is the biggest competition in the world. So when the World Cup comes around, everyone, even if you don't even follow for football, if a country is there, because this is seen as just the premier sport, because it is the one competition that the entire planet is watching. And I think the World Cup may have surpassed the Olympics now, because before Olympics was the global thing. But right now, I think it's a stage where like the World Cup has now superseded in terms of numbers and viewers the Olympics. So when a country wins a World Cup, it's a big thing because you've put your country right in the center of the spotlight. Now, if we now want to get philosophical and everything, the idea of countries and borders is actually stupid, and it's a myth and it's an illusion that's man-made. But that's if we want to get philosophical. If we just want to keep things tangible, it's a big deal. It is a big, like, even if Croatia didn't win it, I remember my Croatian colleague in the office. He showed me the kinds of parties they were having in Croatia just because they reached the final. When I was growing up, the only way I knew about Romania, Bulgaria, all these other countries was through via the World Cup. I wasn't going to I was a brick in geography. I would even look at, but I would research countries and cultures based on the World Cup. So, look at, Bulgaria, why do all of their names end in V? That's interesting. Oh, Croatia, why do all of them names end in C? So it's actually a great promoter for your country, your culture, and everything, and what they're about. So you going for, like, I bet you several people would have Googled Croatia as a possible holiday spot because they go to the World Cup final. Because like, oh, Croatia, oh, let's just see what this place is about and everything. So it is a major promoter for your country. Right.
Yeah, no, I aside from agreeing with what you said, look, when you win something for your country, it's like winning a war for your country, right? You're a hero. You're amplified. Your legacy is immortalized when that happens. Sorry, I apologize. Your legacy is immortalized when that happens, because when you win something for your country, that's in the history books forever, like forever. So like we said, there's only been 21 iterations of the World Cup, right? 21 or 22. So only 22 squads have ever won the World Cup, and some of them have doubled up. So it's a very limited honor. Not anybody could do it. Not like when you do it, that's it. Like you're amongst one of the very select few, because there's millions of people that play football. Look, to play basketball, you need like a net, and you need like the ball, and you need a small court, and it's very hard to play. For football, you can just get two rocks, put them 2 meters across from each other, get a ball, and you could just play anywhere you want, in the backyard, on the street, in the dirt, anywhere you want. You could play football. It's a great equalizing sport. It's a unique sport. Cricket, you need tools, you need like the ball, you need the
basketball, you need a hoop.
Yeah, exactly. You need all these things. Whereas with football, it's everybody could play football. Literally anybody could play football.
All you need to say, because remember, I know this from Nigeria. All you need for football is like a shirt, a rock, a stone, a plant,
anything.
Basically, all you need is a ball and 4 pieces of things for two, and you're in.
Growing up, there's been days where we played with a can instead of a ball. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. Like that's what football does. Is
like me and my brother. Like my brother used to get sellotape and wrap it around like a paper several times, so it's hardened. It's a ball.
That's it, exactly. Like, and that's why like football. Because think about it this way: out of all the billions of people on the planet, right? Let's just say, like all these people that are playing and have dreams of winning that World Cup, only 21 squads have ever really won it. That's how high the honor is. That's how small the possibility of you winning it is. Like, because not only do you have to be part of the right generation or the right country or the right time or because there are certain players that are unlucky. They get injured on World Cup year, and let's say, for example, they in the 8-year span of their career, they never get the chance to even play in the World Cup.
Real quick. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you go, but you went to very key points I want to get out there, because people always come at me by saying that, because you were making the point of like how you have to be in the right team, the right generation. People are not so lucky. You know what I say, Red? David Beckham won the World Cup.
Yep.
Do you know why?
Because he was insane for Turkey in 2002.
You know, have won it. It's sort of like how I call it the Rocky theory. Yeah, Rocky, he actually lost Apollo Creed.
Yep.
It's only because it's only when I got older that he lost. But when you watch the film, he won.
Yep.
Apollo Creed lost. In the eyes of the people and everything, Apollo Creed lost, Rocky won.
Creed barely beat a bum off the streets.
Yeah, so basically, even if technically Croatia didn't win the 98 World Cup, they still won because the entire world knew who Croatia were. The entire world knew who David Beckham was. So even if Croatia didn't win the World Cup in 2018, the entire world knew Croatia. The entire world knew who Modric was. So even if Uruguay didn't win the World Cup in 2010, the entire world was like, oh, Uruguay, these were the heavyweights. Oh, who's this Forlan dude? So it's about making your statements. Because people know that even if you're a small nation, you're not going to win it. But if you make your statements like Stoichkov did with Bulgaria, that's your World Cup.
Exactly. Or Giorgio Hagi with Bosnia, or
Romania.
Yeah, Romania. Sorry, my bad. Or Hakan Şükür with Turkey. Like there are certain players like I said, when you ball in the World Cup, like you may not win it, but just the fact that you were able to
means a lot. It's like, because as you said, it's like, because is that what they say? Like the finest things in life are finite.
Mm-hmm.
The sweetest things in life come in very small doses, so it makes you appreciate them more. The reason why the World Cup is so special is because it's every 4 years. It's 7 games. It's such a small thing. I'm not taking anything away from the Champions League. I love the Champions League. I love it. But there's always next year. There's always next year. There's always a next year. When this thing is every 4 years, when it comes, it's that extra special because, guys, we need to save this because once it's done, we have to wait another 4 years. Who knows whether we'll be alive in 4 years' time? So, you know, all right, let's ride with this. So Red, are you done with that?
Yeah, I'm here. HH.
Okay. So rank these dudes. So thank you from Suraj Issues on the Streets. Rank Son, Salah, Mane, Sterling, Rashford. Okay. All right. So from bottom to top. I'm not going to say worst because what's that? From bottom to top. I would say.
I can take this one first if you like, HH. I already have them ranked.
Go for it.
So from the bottom, I'd go Rashford, Son, Sterling, Mane, Salah. Or Salah, Mane. Those two are interchangeable. The only two that are interchangeable. The rest, I stand by them. And I can give explanations why.
Very similar to thinking Rashford. Okay, see, it depends on. Okay, let's just take overall on what they've done and everything. Okay, Rashford, Sterling. No. Rashford, Sterling, Rashford, Son, Sterling, Salah, Mane. Because my thing with Son and Sterling is I rate Son very highly. I can't just ignore what Sterling did in those 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Like, his output was insane. As much as I love Son and how Son, I feel Son can take over the game a lot more than Sterling can. But I have to take everything into account. And I think Sterling's is more his output and effectiveness, I think, is perhaps even is greater than Son. And
Sterling was 2 moments away from being a Ballon d'Or winner. 2 moments away, because he was robbed of a Champions League hat-trick in the semis against Spurs, in the quarter, against Spurs. And in the World Cup, had Harry Kane just squared it to Sterling, they would have been in a final. Like, Sterling had so many ample opportunities, man. He was robbed.
Bro, just square the flipping pass. Square the pass. 2-0. England are in a bloody World Cup final with France. England in a World Cup final with France. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, I was. The thing is like, HH, like when it comes, I rank them based off of overall career, not based off of ability or expected ability or what I expect. Because if so, then Rashford would easily be top 3 or top 2 between these guys, because he has a lot of ability. He has great free kick taking ability. He's quick. He's a decent finisher. I personally think his finishing is very underwhelming, but he's good enough at it where you could play him as
who's finishing?
Rashford, because I remember him last season against Barcelona. He was given so many opportunities, and he just could not finish. And even like at one point, he attempted like a volley and it came off his thigh. I'm like, come on, man, you're playing at the Camp Nou. Like this is supposed to be your game. Like fix up. He even got a chance in the first minute and he squandered it. Like Rashford really, like he has had some underwhelming performances. After I rated Son. Now, Son, the only reason I'm ranking him so lowly is because he's playing for Spurs, guys. Like literally, his biggest, most notable accomplishment is winning the Asian Cups.
Season.
Pardon?
Look what he did in the CL last season.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, HH. But actually, if you actually look at the game between Spurs and City, Sterling was the better player over the course of 2 legs. He was a more consistent player. He was like completing more passes. He was more progressive. He was shooting. He was scoring goals, and he did score a hat trick, and he was robbed of it. Granted, Son scored an amazing goal. He scored a Ronaldo-esque goal when he chested it, brought it down, like sort of cut inside, and then took the shot. That was a phenomenal goal by Son. But like overall, as a player, when you look at what Sterling's been doing, regardless of the system or the manager or the team or whatever, Sterling has been much more effective. You can't deny the 100-point season, his effect on it. Like I to this day, I'm haunted. I remember there was that one game where City were about to drop their first point against Southampton, and it was like in the 95th minute, 35 seconds, like the game was done. That's it. Sterling just gets the ball and he finesses it with his right foot into the top bin, and that was just so clutch. And he kept them unbeaten at the time, which everybody was like hyped about for City. So like moments like that for Sterling has them under his belt. He has a couple actually. Like that's just one that I remember. Like I'm like okay, and not only that, like Sterling's also been around for how long? Sterling's been around since the 2016 Euros.
17 or 18, I think.
No, 16 Euros. 2016 Euros. He played. Him and Sturridge both played in the 2016 Euros. I remember they were both like Liverpool talents coming up. So yeah, like Sterling has just been too consistent for me to rank Son above him. To be honest with you, like also his improvement, the way he's evolved his game overall, I just feel like he's just gotten he's become a much better player. Then of course Salah and Mane. Again, it just depends on your preference of player, your type of player. If you like a bit more flair and a little more unpredictability, Mane. If you like more consistency, you just want to celebrate a goal, somebody to finish, you got Salah. So whatever you like. Personally, currently I'm ranking more towards Salah because now with this quarantine, what I really love about this quarantine is that I was able to look back at football and just notice when the hype is gone, when there's not that weekly hype for some players, and you just see their numbers. When you look at Salah's numbers, he's actually criminally underrated. This guy's putting up Messi, Ronaldo numbers, and better than Ronaldo. He's less than Messi, but better than Ronaldo number-wise. Like we got to respect it at some point. And don't forget, and this isn't a guy that's privileged. This is a guy that came from the streets of Egypt.
He's a great school. He's a great school.
Exactly. Like, we have to start giving him the credit that he deserves because I'm like, it's insane. Like, not just him, like. Even like Hazard, because I know people always criticize Hazard. Man, people don't realize that if you go look at who got the most man of the matches last year, it was Messi, but who was second? Hazard. Like he was dominating matches. Like yes, he may not score a lot of goals, but the impact he has over the games. Like now that you guys have are in quarantine, feel free to go watch compilations. Don't watch full matches. Watch compilations and see what these players actually do, and you'll realize like maybe a lot of the players that we do rate aren't really that good. And a lot of the papers, like I see Haaland getting, like it kills me when I see people online slandering Hazard but praising Haaland, and I'm like, Hazard's been consistently balling for 10 years. Haaland's been balling for like literally a couple of months. First young player to get knocked out of the Champions League twice. Man. Like
people are jealous of Hazard. I have never seen a group of people more jealous of Hazard than people these days. It's weird because I think, okay. Guys, it's not my fault that he won a European trophy. It's not my fault that he balled on his last game for Chelsea. It's not my fault that Real Madrid made him a priority. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that Real Madrid courted this dude because he's that good. So why does that need to bring hate? Why not just love him and say he's amazing? It's weird.
It's the agenda. Nobody, in the words of Charmin the God, HH, nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Bro, that's deep, man. Let me bring this in. Let me bring this in. From Los Colchoneros. Ooh, Colchoneros, W open. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I think this is your first super chat, man. Thank you, man, bro. Long time aficionado. Devil was wrong last time when he said Barca and Madrid carried Spanish dominance in the Champions League. Atleti made 2 finals, semis, quarters, and Sevilla won 3 Europa Leagues. See, I think what was said, because let me just say what the question was, because it was a weird question that said, "Oh, HH, you say, oh, Syria was sort of dominant and so forth, but if you look from 95 to 2010, Spanish teams actually did better." I said, whoa, wait a minute. And the point that Devil made was Real Madrid won 3 CLs, 4 or 5, so that's already one thing. I said 90s. That was my period. So I don't know what that guy was smoking when he sent that question. I said, during the 90s, bro, this Serie A said, what's up? Like the Serie A was a double league. So whether it's how many European Cups they did, is how well they did in the European Cups, and the fact that all the best players in the world played in Serie A. 100%. The last decade, oh my gosh, yes, it's Spain. It's obvious. Yeah, there was one time that it was all Premier League clubs in the Europa League and the Champions League, but like, yeah, last decade or so, Real Madrid, Barcelona, you had Sevilla doing their whole thing, you had Atletico Madrid, 100%. So it's about periods. And the dude, I think, got the period wrong, because in the 90s, Spain weren't really saying what's up in the 90s, but obviously because we just have cycles and shifts. We now have a shift where everyone now wanted now to play in the Spanish La Liga and everything. So, Red.
Yeah. Sorry, if you could just remind me what the original point that Devo made.
No, I think the question was, Syria, that La Liga was actually very dominant throughout
The 90s?
2010 and sort of. But I think David then clarified by saying that, well, there were different stages of dominance, but also as well, the point that was made was that I was talking about the 90s and so that Syria was dominant in the 90s. And he was like, wait a minute, you can't just take an arbitrary period of 95 to 2010. For me, periods are decades.
Yeah.
90s, 2000s, 2010s. 90s to Syria. 2000s, you could argue, was a Premier League and maybe Syria and maybe La Liga. The 2010s, oh my gosh.
No, like if we're gonna be like the early 2000s was pretty much dominated by, I would say, La Liga. Mid 2000s was that's when the shift happened. 2006, the Premier League pretty much dominated for the next 5 years, and then it'd be ridiculous to say 2010 to 2012 La Liga didn't. 2010 to 2020 La Liga didn't dominate, because every European trophy was got to be a Spanish team. You might get the odd English team like United or Chelsea that would win the Europa League, but like overall, it was always like Sevilla, Atletico, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Like even Malaga was reaching like the Champions League latter stages. Like they're pretty much like the dominance was pretty much, it was swinging. But like in 2010, 2020, that's the Messi Ronaldo era. Those two for their clubs dominated world football, and that's just the truth. Like that's why there's Spanish dominance, is because even the teams that were playing against them had, like Atletico were only so good because they were so good defensively, because they had to defend against these two 4 times a year at least. You know what I mean? So yeah. But like if you look at, you know what's funny, just on a side note right here, this is something I saw a graphic yesterday that was showing all the league winners for all Europe's top 10 leagues from 2000 to 2020. Did you know that all of them had, I believe, 6 winners in the Prem, in La Liga, Bundesliga, and Serie A all had 6 winners, like the teams that won their league title. So like if you actually look at it over a 20-year period,
because you cut off. Say again. Wait, say again, because you cut off.
From 2000 until 2020, in the 20-year period, there were 6 teams from each league that won the league trophy, at least one league trophy in the 20 years. So, for example, in La Liga, you had Deportivo La Coruña, Valencia, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and I'm forgetting one. I think maybe Villarreal, maybe. And then Atletico won in 2014. Atletico won in 2014. And then in Bundesliga, you had Mönchengladbach, you had Dortmund, Bayern, Schalke, and I'm forgetting the name of the team. Shoot. It's slipping my mind, honestly, right now. But the point is, like, when people say that, oh, this league is more competitive because there's more winners, if you actually look at over the past 20 years, that's not true. They're actually all equal. How is that correct? One sec. I'm going to actually look up the graphic. 1 second. I could probably find it.
Okay. 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 So I'm talking about the league winners of each league based on the competitiveness. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think Red is going to try and look that up. Let's take another one here. From your boy Footy Troll. So, given Benzema's achievements and the fact he can't do anything about being barred from the French team, do you guys think he can be considered a great or a legend of the game? You see, this is why, Didier Deschamps is a prick. I know. Look, as I say, like, I ain't never gonna get famous enough to interview any of these people, so I think I can say anything I want. I think that's the point where Didier Deschamps is a prick, because what he's doing to Benzema is disgusting. Benzema should be a World Cup winner. Benzema should be a World Cup winner. And the fact that people even have the audacity to compare Olivier Giroud to Benzema, I just think is quite frankly offensive. Benzema has made his mark on the Champions League. Like I keep on, I don't have to believe. I need to maybe check the footage that has he really scored that many goals in the CL, because it doesn't feel like if he scored that many goals in the CL. But you have to look at what Homeboy has done for Real Madrid, being part of the 4-5 and the 3-peat as well. But greatness, legendary status. You see, for me, Messi and Cristiano have done so much that you can call them like top tier. Again, they're not GOAT because they still need a World Cup, but they're more closer to GOAT status based on just how much they've done in the club game. I don't think Benzema has done enough in the club game for us to say, now this guy's legendary or a GOAT. Hence why I said if Benzema had already done what he's done in the club game and he'd won a World Cup, we can have a discussion. Like if Benzema finished the 2018 World Cup as top scorer and he scored in the final, we've got to have a conversation. We have to have a conversation. Hence why it's so frustrating and so annoying that Benzema has been denied. Benzema should punch Deschamps in the face if he ever sees him. He should. Because I know Benzema is a pretty cool guy and nothing really bothers him and everything. But deep down, it would have pissed him up, him sitting down watching that World Cup, knowing that, oh my God in heaven, I was made for this World Cup. There wasn't a huge, massive team. There wasn't a big threat of a team. The toughest team would have obviously been what was it called? It's Belgium, and I would have probably scored in that game. I guess so. Benzema would also look and say, "My gosh, I would have eaten. I would have eaten." Because remember, Benzema was good in 2014. They got taken out by the winners, and it was a close game.
I got it. By the way,
go for it.
Okay, so from 2000, right? You had the winners being, and the reason why I chose 2000, guys, is new century, from the start of this new century, the new era, because I heard people saying like,
I'm gonna get some snacks. I'll be back in 1 minute, but tell the crew.
Sounds good. So from 2000, guys, here we have it right here: Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. That's 3. City 4, and then Leicester 5. 5 teams have won the league trophy in 20 years. Now, if we look at La Liga, you had year 2000, it was Deportivo La Coruña, Real Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona, and Atleti. That's also 5. Those are the 5 winners over the past 20 years. So in both leagues, you had 5 winners over the course of 20 years. Yes, they came at different periods and different eras of dominance, just like how Premier League had United dominating for a while. And then in La Liga, you had Barcelona dominating for the large part of the 20 years. So when it comes to this, even for right now, 1 second, I'm going to pull up the Bundesliga as well, and let's see what they. I'm pretty sure they also have 5 winners. It's kind of weird. Bundesliga winners.
Oh no! Bundesliga had like 4 or 5 winners. Also. I think they've had the most winners of the major leagues. I believe.
Yep. Let's see, because like so far, La Liga and Premier League over the past 20 years have had 5 winners each, right? So for Bundesliga, they've had Bayern, Dortmund, Mönchengladbach. I forgot the name of this team. Stuttgart. I think it's Stuttgart, right? So that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wolfsburg 5. That's it. 5 winners over the past 20 years. Just like La Liga and the Prem. Honestly, even Serie A 5. You had Lazio, Roma, Juve, AC Milan, and Inter. 5 over the past. It's actually the team that actually the league that has the most winners. What's it called? The most winners is actually Ligue 1. Ligue 1 have Monaco. I don't know the name of this club.
No, it has to be Bundesliga. I think
Lille.
The team that has the most winners, I think, is Bundesliga, isn't it?
No. Bundesliga has 5, just like the Prem. Bundesliga have 5. La Liga has 5, and wait, 6? Are you sure? 1 second. Somebody's saying we have 6. BD Course saying we have 6. No, Bayern, Dortmund, Wolfsburg, 6. Stuttgart, Mönchengladbach, 5. Wait, Bayern, Dortmund, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, no, 5. You guys are making me confused. No, it's 100% 5. Because 2001 was Bayern, Dortmund 2002, then Bayern again. But that's 2 so far. Then 2004, Mönchengladbach wins. That's 3. Then in 2007, Stuttgart wins, and that's 4. And then Wolfsburg wins in 2009, and that's 5. And then the rest is between Bayern and Dortmund, so that's 5 different winners.
Yes, no. No one has 6. I don't think anyone has 6.
Yeah, Serie A has 5 as well. The only team that I think Ligue 1 has 7. But that's funny how if you because people always say, "Oh, this."
So Syria was Inter, Juve, AC Milan, Roma. Who's the other one?
Oh, sorry, Lazio. Lazio won in 2000.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Ericsson, under Ericsson. Yeah.
So Lazio won in 2000. You had Roma in 2001, and then Inter, AC Milan, and Juve. That's it. It's actually so for that's actually interesting because you always hear these arguments about, oh, this league is better, this league is better. But if you look at it over a 20-year period, they're actually, the quality just sort of balances out. It just shifts from era to era. But yeah, we can go back to Benzema. My bad, because I have a lot.
No.
Benzema.
That was cool. So your thoughts on this question?
I mean, look, Benzema doesn't deserve a World Cup. That's we can't say that. They won it without him. They don't need him, right? So that we can just put that on the side. It's very tragic though, because imagine you're a player, or not just a player, anything. Imagine you're a doctor, an engineer, whatever you are, and you're elite in your craft, but you're robbed of the opportunity to get a job just based off of no one knows. Because people will like to mention the case, but he was found innocent. They'd like to mention, there's a lot of things around Benzema that are just fallacies and lies. Benzema, for the most part, has always been to himself. Even that whole, you can watch his documentary on Netflix, where they actually go into detail about that. And pretty much everybody's in agreement that there's nothing. Everybody wants Benzema back in the club except for Deschamps and Giroud. That's it. Everybody else is fine with Benzema coming back. He was just robbed of the opportunity. And that's very tragic. He will be a football legend. He always will be, because he is the first to win a three-peat in the Champions League era. So his name is always going to be mentioned. And even at worst case scenario, people will always mention his goal in the final, which that's going to always be insane, which would lead you down the path of Benzema, which would show you how much of a quality player he really is. So he is a legend. He also did have the 2014 World Cup, which was a very good World Cup, very underrated performance also by a player. He was just very unlucky against Germany, in that he had that near post attempt where he could have, but unfortunately he was stopped. He was criticized for that one. But yeah, no, he's definitely a footballing legend. It's just a tragic story.
I think the chatters are going to be crazy. I think that they are sort of coming for you. They're saying that we should be looking at the last 10 years.
Sure, if you want the last 10 years, then what? What's
no,
the point?
Because I think they were saying that the Premier League has been the most competitive league in the last 10 years compared to everyone else.
Yes. If you're gonna judge competitiveness by just different winners, then sure. But if you actually look at the season itself, for the past 10 years, for the past at least 4 years, the Premier League has been done by November. Tell me I'm wrong. The Premier League was Chelsea. After they lost to Arsenal, they just went on a 16-game unbeaten run. By February, the league was over.
No.
When City, 100 points.
The notion of there being any competition in the major leagues is complete fugazi. I think the Premier League has now turned to a two-team league. That's just the reality now. We
don't even know that, HH. We don't even know that. Liverpool have had one good season. We have no evidence or proof to show that they're gonna be this consistent. To say they're a two-team league, they've only had one season.
But put it this way: I'm willing to put money down, not a lot because I'm not rich. I need to put money down that Liverpool will be near the top and competing for the title as long as Klopp is around, and maybe for the next few seasons they'll be competing for the Premier League title. They will be nowhere near as good as they were this season. But for me, I don't see anyone breaking into this duopoly. As long as Klopp and Pep are around, I don't see anyone breaking into the duopoly. But guys, the reality of the matter is club football right now has no competition. Hence why the arguments for a Super League is real. Because the argument for a Super League is, bro, what you're going into a league campaign saying Barcelona or Real Madrid, Bayern or Bayern, Juve or Juve, PSG or PSG, Man City or Liverpool. That's it. But in a Super League case, oh my gosh, anyone can win. Anyone can win. But in most leagues, it's either one team or two teams. There's the whole notion of a 3-horse race, 4-horse race, or this thing, because more and more money is being made, and the pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So anytime a top player pops up at a smaller team, Barcelona has them. Oh, De Jong. What was it called? De Ligt. Gone. Oh, and Bernardo Silva, Fabinho, Mbappe, gone. So those one-team leagues are just always going to exist. So club football isn't as compelling as it was in previous years, where the talent was more spread apart. Right now, the talent's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, And there was a time when Premier League was, oh my gosh, Premier League, 4 or 5 teams could really win it. But now in the Premier League, like, look at what Liverpool did this past season. City got to 100 points. City got 100 points one season, 98 points the next season. So I just think the introduction of what
Liverpool are on course to go to 100. Not to mention this season, Liverpool were on course to do like 105 points, 106 points. Like the Premier League, like I don't know why, I don't understand Premier League fans. Like they're very defensive about calling their league the best league. I really think it is like easily top 2. It's one of the most enjoyable leagues.
Do you know what it is?
Understand that, but like
no. Basically, you know what it is? It's
what,
and I'll present to you. Like the Premier League is the biggest in terms of finances and fans. It's not the best league. Full stop. That doesn't make any sense. You have to qualify your statements. Oh, it's the best in terms of the fans and the money that's. So it's the biggest financially, but it's not just in terms of football quality. Heck no, the football quality in the Premier League is not great. Top to bottom, it ain't great. So
yeah, like it's the whole point that we're trying to make. The whole point that I'm trying to make is not that any league is better than the other. What I'm trying to say is like when you look at it over the course of like 20 years, right? Because like that's a good time period to really judge football. You see in these top 5 leagues, 4 of them only had 5 winners. Like yes, some teams won it more than the others or something like that. Like the point is like the diversity, the pool. You had 5 different teams that won it. It's kind of eerie the fact that like why like what are the odds that all 4 will only have 5 winners, right? Despite the dominance that they have. And the Premier League, guys, look, different winners, sure, but overall, the season becomes less interesting the more and more. The only thing that keeps me watching the Premier League is AFTV, honestly, after the season's over, because I just want to see if Arsenal make top 4. That's honestly it. Aside from that, I really don't, like, I there's nothing to watch. Like, why would you care about watching?
Okay, so why? So what sort of turns you off from the Premier League then specifically?
It's I need competition. I need the season for me always is the same. It starts off amazing. I'm always entertained. Then around like January, like to like until February, until the Champions League starts, I really lose interest because at that point you already know who's gonna win, and you don't know who's gonna be like relegated. But then my interest sparks again at the end of the season when you want to see who makes top 4, who's getting relegated, who's gonna get saved. I like to see the top of the league versus like the relegation, and then see like how they're duking it out because sometimes those matches are always bloody. Champions League, knockout football, like I just like consequence.
No.
Like,
but let's look at this then. In fairness, let's take the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, we've had 3 different Premier League winners in the past decade: Chelsea, Man United, Man City, La Liga. So okay, I think La Liga we've had 3
you forgot Leicester, Chelsea, Man United, and City, 4, and there's 3 La Liga teams that won it.
So you've had 4, and I think if we take Leicester away, I believe United may have won it twice in the decade. City have won it 3, 4, 5 times in the decade, and Chelsea have won it twice in the decade. In La Liga, apart from the Barcelona Real Madrid dominance, Atletico only won it that once in 2014. We already know about the Bundesliga. We already know about these other things. So couldn't you then say as an argument, me playing devil's advocate, that proves Premier League is more competitive based on 4 different teams?
From 2010 to 2020, yeah, sure. That's not like, but that's not. That's why I started from the beginning of the century. That's it. Because like over a 10-year period, it's a good amount of time to judge, but like it's just like one era. I brought in all both eras from 2000 to 2020, and you see that like that's even more like telling that in the 2000s, then the Premier League wasn't competitive at all. It was only United. He's only had three winners in the 2000s.
What is so the top four races is the only thing that's entertaining with the Premier League these days. Good title races only come earlier this season, and even then the team you expect wins. So let me just talk about this whole top four thing. For me, the way I grew up, top four wasn't a thing. And you can't celebrate qualifying for the Champions League. That's bullcrap. The league is a competition, and it is a fight to see who wins the trophy. You get no prizes for reaching a World Cup semi or a World Cup quarterfinal. You get no prizes for reaching like his Champions League semi or Champions League. You get the prize for winning the trophy. There's one winner and that's 18, 40, 50 loser. So the top four race isn't a I don't even consider it a thing. It's just, oh yeah, top. But I don't say, oh my gosh, it isn't an argument for the entertainment or the competitiveness or the interest of the Premier League. Your interest of the league is how compelling is your title race? How compelling is it? And I think in the only season in which it was like, whoa, what the heck? Well, maybe 2 seasons was obviously the 13-14 Liverpool season and the Aguero season with United Man City. Apart from that, as Rodri said, the team you expected to win ended up winning. So
yeah, like it's pretty much always like that. Pretty much, but to play devil's advocate, I do enjoy top four races. I'll tell you why. Not back in the day, because I remember like you, HH, it was all about the winners. Like we grew up in an era, but here's the difference between our era and their era, HH. When we grew up, we didn't grow up to having the internet giving us these matches week in, week out for every league, full access, no problem. Even if you can't afford it, you could just pirate it. Not saying that you should do that, but you can. And you have stats and all this stuff readily available for you at your fingertips. So for me and you, we didn't have time to sit and watch like for these programs or follow this stuff. But now, because all of the content that we have with the internet, the top four race is important because, look, let's just say Arsenal get top four instantly. They can now get better transfers because now they're playing the Champions League, right? So they get better transfers. This improves their team for the second year running if they're competing in the league. It adds more interest. Like sometimes when you look at the overall narrative, right? Like for me, United and Arsenal making top four is a massive narrative. AC Milan making top four is a massive narrative. This is always interesting. At the end of the year, are they going to do it? Are they going to pull it off? Right? Like it's always, that's what keeps it exciting. That's why I said like for me, the league starts off really high because I always want like have high hopes for this season. Then November, December, January, I start, falling off because you already know who's going to be in the round of 16. You already know like what team is pretty much in the lead and how much like they're covered. But then it peaks at the end when you have the relegation battles, the top four. Because those matches are still exciting. Like it's great content for us as football fans because we want to see competitive matches. I don't want to see a match mid-January where this team is already 17th and like they don't care and they're going up against City and City's 30 points ahead of second place. It's just going to be a routine 5-0 win and they keep moving. But when it's at the end of the season, when this team really needs that 3 points to really stay afloat relegation, the match just instantly becomes more competitive.
Okay, wait,
right?
let me ask you this. Okay, let me answer this on that point you made. Are you for or against the Super League?
I am against the Super League. I don't like that. That's what we have the Champions League for. That's the beauty of the like a Super League just means less content for us. That's all it's going to mean. A Super League means that one corporation is going to own the rights to these teams and everything, and like it's going to essentially kill off competition. It really is. It's going to also like because look, if they make a Super League, the leagues would probably still exist. It's just going to be sort of like how the NBA exists, but then you have like the rest of the world also have their own national basketball associations. But the NBA is where the elite talent goes to. You know what I mean? But at the same time, look at basketball. Like the sport would almost be regressing because basketball is trying to do what football's doing. Basketball are trying to do how every country just tunes into football. Every country just likes these clubs around the world. Like I have never been to Spain, but I love Madrid. I just grew up with it, and for some reason, I clicked with this team, and I like them. Call me what you want. It is what it is, right? Like you can't really get that outside of the US. You know what I mean? It's very rare. You'll find it in China, find it in some places, but it's not the same degree to football. And the reason for that is because football is available in every country. You have different leagues, different styles. You like the English Premier League, or do you like Serie A or Bundesliga or La Liga? Each one has different flavor to it. Then you have the World Cup and international trophies like Copa Americas. Yeah, like you can even go as far and say, like in South America, if you would like to watch that kind of football, where it's a bit more rough and rigid, and like it's more based on pure talent and not just tactics and like, you know, computer analyzed algorithms to really set up the team in the best way possible to win. It's just such a massive sport to be able to just put it in one super league and just have everybody focus on 12 teams. That's just, I don't know, it kind of kills the sport. It sounds good because you'll be like, oh, we'll only get elite matches, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as entertaining as what we see right now.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting one, man. So, City and Liverpool, the EPL, Madrid and Barca, I say no. And this reason why I say no is they don't have the overall pedigree and pull that Madrid and Barca have. I think, and this is what I said before, and people sort of may get angry and so forth. If you're a young up-and-coming star player, and especially come from South America that has housed some of the best players of all time, your dream is to play for Madrid and Barcelona. You don't dream to play for Liverpool or Man City. You dream to play at the Nou Camp or at the Bernabeu. So because Madrid and Barca will always attract the very best from the amazing talent pool of South America, they will always have that duopoly for the foreseeable future. For City, the thing with City and Liverpool is that, remember, this is the Premier League, which is the most lucrative league in the world. Newcastle are now going to be taking over right now. United are a few signings away from getting back in there because United, they have the funds. Arsenal, they have the funds. Tottenham, they have the funds. Atletico Madrid cannot compete with the spending power of like the top 6 teams in the Premier League. Neither can Valencia, neither can Leipzig, neither can flipping Atalanta or Roma. And at the end of the day, as you can be the best coach in the world with the best training, you still need players. You still need personnel, and you still need to buy guys of a certain skill set to put you in the best possible position to compete with the behemoths at the top of the table. So City and Liverpool, I think they'll have their dominance, but it won't be to the extent, like they won't dominate the decade in the way that Barcelona and Madrid did, where Barcelona was winning 8, Madrid winning 2, and Thingy winning 1. Sorry, Barca winning 8, Madrid winning 1, and Atletico winning 1. You're not going to have that in the Premier League. Like City and Liverpool, they'll probably share the next few. Then we may see United resurge, we may see Arsenal resurge, or somewhat, and maybe they will then win a league there. So, Red.
Yep, like for the dominant, like I honestly think Manchester United is a sleeping giant. I think Chelsea is a sleeping giant as well. I think both those teams, Chelsea not to the same extent as United, to be honest with you. But they do have they're within like reach. Chelsea have the capability. They have the funds. They have a good set of talent, and they have a very good academy where even if, let's say, the academy players don't make it, they could still make a profit where they could invest into better players. So Chelsea do have that capability. Arsenal, I don't think they have a chance right now. Like Arsenal are going to need a good 10 years, like before they're like
10 years.
I don't see anything right now. Yeah, like at least before like we take Arsenal serious again. Like Arsenal, like I hate to say because I like Arsenal, but like they're a bit of a meme club at the moment. Like it's just like the type of stuff that happens to them. Only Arsenal. Like the other day I just saw a clip. It was on the timeline where like they in the final. I forgot who the team was. They score past Arsenal and like it was the last minute and they won. And he comes and he just pushes Koscielny's head to the ground. I'm like, that's like that only happens in like at Arsenal, man. Like that's. They need that fear factor back, and they don't have it. United have it. United have money. United also have like some world class players at their hand. Like they can still attract players. So and they like a lot of the youngsters that are probably coming out right now grew up idolizing United or Ronaldo or Beckham or whatever, like Rooney. So Like I feel like United could do something. It's going to take a while for them just because they're still testing formulas, and of course it's making them look extra bad when you have Liverpool and City flying the way they are, and they're both United's rivals. But I feel like United will eventually, like in like 2-3 years time, they'll figure their stuff out and they'll finally be able to compete like they used to. And
So what
the
about
only
this
thing is
then?
like
Because this is from an Atletico fan who says we're spending 100 million on players now. Days we are starting to spend big from CL funds. So it's okay. Let me because I know you may probably have more of this since you're more into La Liga. But my thing is this with Atletico is look, I thought these guys were done. Prior to that Liverpool game, I was like, Simeone, these dudes are done. I wrote them off, defensive merchants and so forth. I was stupendously impressed by what they did at Anfield because I think people need to really give that team, Simeone and everyone, props for what they did. They saw the appearance unbeatable in their backyard because Liverpool's record before that loss was insane, absolutely insane. So my thing though is, okay, let's say Atletico have loads of funds and everything. If you're going to give me a Thomas Lemar, I don't know where you're going. Joao Felix was a huge buy. He's not really come through. So my thing is that even if you're a club that has a lot of funds, the difference between an Atletico having 100 mil and an Arsenal having 100 mil is a player up and coming is always going to choose an Arsenal over an Atletico because it's the Premier League and it's a bigger kind of market. So that's how the way it works. You will always choose a Real Madrid and a Barcelona over a Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Juventus, and everything. But you will always choose a Arsenal, Chelsea, United for now over like a Atletico, Valencia, or so forth, based on the Premier League market. You know, I mean, am I wrong there? Right there? What?
No, you're pretty much right. Like the thing is look, the Premier League is more competitive than La Liga at the moment. Like it's like La Liga is not even a fair competition with the way Madrid and Barca are just so far beyond the other clubs. Like even Atletico, like things have to go perfect for them to be able to win a league. Because the thing is, Atletico's style of play is it's not suitable to win leagues. And like in the 90s, they would have gotten leagues because they're a solid defensive team. But now and today in modern football, you need goals. You need a lot of goals because teams are just scoring. Like goal scoring records are being broken every year for leagues because again the game has evolved. We have now supercomputers to really analyze the game, so the game is not the same. So they could try, and even if you look at like the record, like their records, Atletico don't lose 3-0. Atletico don't lose 2. They don't get humiliated. The games that they lose, it's usually 1-0 or it's 1-1. Like that's how they just scrape by, hoping for the 3 points. But so that's why it's hard for them, because if you drop 2 points in La Liga, good luck waiting for Barca and Real to both slip up. You know what I mean? Like Real might slip up, Barca might slip up, but for them both to slip at the same time, it's very rare. And we clearly saw it for the past decade. They only won 1 trophy. Granted, Madrid won 2, but hey, we won a 100-point season. So yeah, that was good. But so
Wait,
go ahead.
A what if thing then? What if, and I know that you won't even want to contend this. What if Atletico won that CL? How do you think that changes things?
It would change everything. Like look, the CL instantly makes a club. It raises them to a certain tier. Like if Arsenal have a CL, they're not considered a meme anymore. Like that's it. They're a historic club. Just one. By the way, they're saying read the super chats. I don't know which super chats you missed, but the comments.
Man, seriously. Okay. This is from, I think these are from what's it called? BDCO. So BDCO BDCO versus Abdullahi, Haaland versus Abraham. Bro, I don't know whether that works, bro.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's like BDCO, you know, all you've done is just come here and self-promote and try to just see, and it's like, and see, let me just say something about you. If you keep on harping on about something, I won't listen. That's the thing. That's the thing with me. If you keep on sending 3,400 messages about something, I swear to you, I will not listen, because it then just pisses me off, because then you're just trying to piss me off by sending me 100 messages saying the same effing thing the whole point in time. So, like, come up with something more interesting, a bigger draw, then maybe. I'm not just going to put you on because you're a BD call man. So, nah, all right. That's not going to happen. So my thing here is that, look, just going back to Atletico, is that, look, for me, I love competition and I love parity, which is why I am so pissed off that the Champions League was cut short. Because, Red, I'm saying right now, things were open. Things were, what Atletico did, opened the field up. Because that was like
Madrid or City are out.
So Atletico are through. Madrid or City are out. For me, it's Madrid. And what you now have is no, because see, Red, what you now have is you don't have a team you can fully back. City, we've seen them come short. Juventus, they've not won it in flipping ages. PSG, perennial losers. Bayern Munich haven't done it since 2013. It makes things so much more exciting because it's really open. Because again, you don't have this one team behemoth, and just based on what, because sometimes all you need is that big win to be like, oh, we can do something. So by Atletico doing what they did to Liverpool, it's like, whoa. Does any team really now want to face Atletico? And again, Barcelona against Napoli. Red, I can't put money that Barcelona would have come through Napoli. Now, if the CL continues,
that's what I was going to say.
Discussion.
No, but CHH, here's the thing. Like, this season, it's so open because, okay, you already have the overwhelming favorites in Liverpool out, right? So instantly, that's the biggest threat out. You have City or Madrid and Barca, probably in Bayern. Those are four that come next, right? So Bayern are looking good. They're looking like they're already through. You have City or Real Madrid. One of them is going to be out. Real Madrid's out. City's through. That's even better because, look, Real Madrid's a team that's tough in the knockout stages. So like once they get past the round of 16, typically they usually run all the way to the semis. And if they get to the final, then we all know what happens then. But City is a team that's proven that they could lose to anybody. City could knock out Barcelona and get knocked out by Monaco the next match.
No. But seriously, what I really felt it was City's year, and I felt that it was City's because this was this is what I think would have happened. Again, we don't know, but my thing was, and we'll probably talk about this much more on Sunday and Saturday as well, but probably on Sunday, I felt that it would have been City win it. De Bruyne comes big time. And I think De Bruyne says something big at the Euros. I think this would have probably been De Bruyne's year. But as much as I say that, Bayern were looking strong. Bayern were looking strong. Look, hate me only once, call me a loser. I believed that something would have happened at the Allianz. Let's just beat us first. Beat us first. But if Bayern had come through Chelsea, with the way that Lewandowski was playing, bro, and how Hansi Flick has been playing, because again, I don't see any team that any other team should fear. That's the thing. So, so who are you going for then? You personally?
For me, I felt like we were gonna get a new winner this year. I felt a new winner. I felt like because I was torn between City, PSG, and Atleti. I felt like one of those three was going to do something this year. I didn't feel like Bayern. I feel like Bayern were like they're going to get exposed eventually because as good as quality talents as they have, I don't know their coach. Like they are in transition. Like Lewandowski's been firing, but now if they do bring it back, would he be in the same form? Is he like he's recently had a child too? So that must be like
how does that affect him?
Pardon? No, form is everything.
How is lockdown would affect Lewandowski though? That's the thing.
Because look, when you have momentum, right? You can't just switch that on and off. You want to know why? Like, you want an example? Sorry. Like, look at Barcelona. 2 seasons in a row, they blew a 3-goal lead. How? Because they rested players midweek, right? Thinking that, we could just turn off momentum. That's why Liverpool were so dangerous last season, because the whole season they were competing with City. And then when they got to the Champions League, they were unstoppable because they just were always on, right? So when you take a player that's been scoring goals for the past couple months, just overall killing it, like breaking records, all of a sudden you just tell them, okay, stop, you can't do anything. You have to just stay inside your house and for the next 2 or 3 months. That's going to affect his game. Like I like that's why I feel like right now the physical teams are probably going to be the ones that are going to struggle the most. Teams with more technical quality will probably excel if they open up the leagues. I feel like those teams, because they're not going to rely on their physicality as much, and they're like, I put my money on them over teams that really rely on pace or speed or power. Like I'm going to see, like, maybe expect, like it's gonna be interesting to see, but I expect Lewandowski to drop off. I don't think him and Immobile are gonna be at the scoring the same like they were before.
So again, I think there's got listeners. I felt that Bayern would have done something this year, but they usually lose to the winners, which is true. I think have Bayern always lost to the winners? No, they lost to Atletico in 2016, I think.
Yeah, but pretty much, like, because they're always making it deep into the European competition, so they're bound to lose to the winner the majority of the time.
See, my thing about, like, again, I wasn't looking at Bayern Munich because I just thought that Liverpool just have too many heavy hitters. Like, Liverpool have too many heavy hitters, and I think once Liverpool went, because Liverpool, Bayern, I'd roll with Liverpool. At full strength, I see Liverpool take out Bayern. It's maybe similar to what happened last. I don't think it would have been the same as last year because I think they're better coached, but I still say Liverpool would have beaten them. But just the Liverpool elements being taken out of it, I think boosts Bayern Munich's chance. And I think it's just down to, bro, okay, Red, let's be honest, man. Lewandowski has come up short.
He has. He's been,
for all his numbers and his stats and everything. You can't keep living off what he did in 2012. You can't. He's still living off what. Wait, when was that 4-goal thing? No, that was.
It was 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, that's the thing. I've always criticized Lewandowski for that reason. Like, people have called me a hater and said, like, oh, I'm just mad because he's better than Benzema. I just don't understand. I'm like, it's not about being better than the other player. Like, I never compare. Like, I don't like to compare players' greatness. I just look at, like, whatever challenges they have to overcome and whatever things they have had to do. So when I look at Lewandowski, okay, great, you're killing it in your league, right? Like, you're scoring a ton of goals. Yes, you're beaten to the Pichichi by Aubameyang, who was playing for an inferior team, but let's not talk about that. Let's just use the excuse that your team was selfish and they don't pass to you. It's just like a couple of things. Like, not only that, like, it's not just the fact that he doesn't pull up, but he always makes excuses. Like, he got Ancelotti sacked. He was complaining about Ancelotti after every post-match just because he just didn't like the coach. The same thing they did with...
No, but also Robben as well. That was a group thing, man. That was
it was as a group, but like I remember, like, Lewandowski came out immediately and criticized him. He was always part of it. And he did the same thing with Kovac. And then he talks about, he also criticizes his players for not passing to him. And then it's like, my guy, like, it's a team sport. Sometimes your players are gonna have they're gonna have their highlights and they're gonna have the lowlights. They're gonna have the good times and the bad times. So, like, you kind of have to ride with it. I don't like that kind of attitude. That's why I sort of appreciate Benzema even more, because Benzema never complains. Regardless, you never hear Benzema complaining in the news. He just keeps it on the field, gets it done. I feel that's very respectable. That's more on the character, not on the striker. Now, on the striker aspect of it, man, like, knockout stages, he just hasn't shown up. He hasn't done it for me. And aside from that, like, look, with all due respect to Bundesliga, it's a great league, an elite league, but, like, there's no real competition there.
You can't live off of that, bro.
Exactly. Live off of that. Like, we can't just keep ranking you amongst the best of the best of the best just because you're killing it in one league. But when it comes to any international competition, like the Champions League, Euros, World Cups, you're not showing up. And like me and AJ said earlier, you don't have to win it. Forlan didn't win the World Cup in 2010. He just performed his ass off. Hakan Şükür didn't win it with Turkey in 2002. He just, like, what's it called? This reach took them to the third place or fourth place finish. They got knocked out by the eventual winner in Brazil. Modric didn't win it with Croatia. but he played his heart out. You can tell this player is like talented. Like we don't ask to win it, but give us a performance. Give us like a good run of games, a memorable performance. And that's like the criticism I have of Lewandowski. He had a fairly balanced World Cup group stage. Who was he with? Colombia, Japan, and Senegal. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like that's a manageable group. It's a manageable group. It's not the toughest group in the world. It's a very manageable group.
It is. That's not like he didn't like right now. Ronaldo for Portugal has France and Germany in the group stage. That's a tough group. I wouldn't criticize Lewandowski. I wouldn't say Lewandowski. You couldn't beat these two teams. No, that's a tough group. It's a team sport. You can't really expect one guy to really take down these two like titans of nations in football. So like that for me. I feel like it's fair criticism to have on him. You were underwhelming. You could blame it on the coaches. You could blame it on the staff. You could blame it on whatever. Man, I guarantee you the coaches that you have aren't any better or any worse than the coaches that are at Colombia or Senegal, maybe Japan. Japan, like they're a pretty wealthy nation. They probably have some elite, like training facilities. But the other two nations, you're pretty much on par with them. You're not really poverty nations. You're big nations. Like you can do it. So for me personally, I just feel like Lewandowski, like he has a lot of
because again, like people will continue to range about this Lewandowski Benzema thing, and where I stand in it is as a footballer overall, I still say Lewandowski is better, but Benzema has the better legacy. If they were to retire right now, Benzema has made the better impact. All Lewandowski's impact has been in the Bundesliga and what he's done there. Benzema's impact has been in La Liga and in the Champions League and in Europe. So, like, if Lewandowski retires and never wins the Champions League, that would be a huge disappointment of a man of his talents, you know. But I want to ask you this though. So, have you heard about this swap deal? Pjanic to Barcelona, Arthur Melo to Juventus. Thoughts?
I mean, like, why would? Like, I get it for Juve. Juve are winning in this deal, but like, why would Barca do that? Like, Arthur's like, unless they're trying to cut wages, this doesn't make any sense to me because Arthur's is a great player. Arthur is very consistent, and the thing is, a player is really good when he plays for Barcelona, and you don't hear a peep about him because if he's not good, they're going to destroy him. Like he's going to be out of there. But like Arthur, you never hear any complaints about him. He's a quality player. So and like Pjanic has been pretty underwhelming. Like I mean, like maybe Barca have like they just want like just more of a passer, just a Busquets replacement, and they feel like Pjanic could possibly do that. But I mean, like you could probably find younger and better options out there. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't. No. If it does go through, it's great for Juve.
No, but I think a lot of people because like. When I did the video, Barca fans were saying that this isn't Setien, it's Bartomeu. And Board are just effing up. So Board are sort of taking control of transfers and just making some wild, crazy decisions. Because again, they want to offload Vidal. They want to offload Rakitic. So it's just wild because, again, that's what I say. I'm sorry, man. How good is this Frenkie de Jong? They're putting so much faith in a dude who, I'm sorry, has not shown me anything exceptional yet. He's talented. He's not shown me anything exceptional yet. You would put all the responsibility on his shoulders.
I literally forgot De Jong even exists. Like I honestly forgot because like this season he was very average. He wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He was
Barca fans will say he's one of the best midfielders in the world, man.
So. No. They'll say that because HH like he's a Barca boy. Like he came from Ajax, like he's part of that whole Cruyffista crowd. Like you know what I mean? Like they love him.
He's good. The guy is a really talented player, but he needs to grow.
But he needs to grow. It's just like it's like when you say talented, right? Like we talked about this earlier. Talent alone doesn't do anything. Like it's about the mentality, the winning mentality. Like I feel like what one of the biggest problems in Barcelona nowadays is that Messi's too big for their club. They can't let Messi down. They're more worried about letting Messi down than about letting. And I'm not trying to blame Messi. It's just that I feel like the reliance on him is too much. Like when De Jong first signed, he was like, "Oh, I can't wait to just pass the ball to Messi." Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you don't focus on the game. Don't stop fanboying around him. You can't you have to play with this guy. Like, let me give you an example in basketball because this one's a really good example. Like this one, Kobe Bryant, for example, when he was playing, he was Michael Jordan fan. You could tell absolutely by the way he moves, by his characteristics, the tongue out, everything. He was a Michael Jordan fan. But when he signed for the Lakers, he said, "I was a Lakers boy from day one." Didn't even stop fanboying him and started looking at him as a competition. His idol became his rival, right? Like when you come in and you have that, when you say something like that, that tells me a lot about your mentality, and probably that's why he has been underwhelming. So,
do you think an Asian player will ever win the Ballon d'Or?
An Asian player? Absolutely. There's so many good Asian players. Like the thing is, it's just not a big sport over there. So it's not. We don't.
No. But then the question is, do you believe an Asian player not be on the podium or come second will win the Ballon d'Or, where an Asian player is on the undisputed best player in the world for a calendar year?
Out of the current pool of players, because if we're talking about next generations, then yes, 100% eventually there's going to be an Asian player that wins it. But out of the current pool of players, there's not really one player that I could flat out say that this kid could be the best in the world, not of Asian descent. I could say that about mostly South Americans, maybe a couple of Europeans. But aside from that, I don't see it. Because let's say, for example, for me, I look at Vinicius, for example. I'd be like, man, this guy's going to be a baller one day. Like this guy at 19 is doing this. This is insane. Like the dribbling, the disrespect, the way that he doesn't care about anybody, like that kind of mentality mixed with having an elite facility training you, mixed with your raw talent.
Ain't gonna be all that.
HH, watch this space. Watch this space, HH. Watch this space.
No, Red, look, save this vid, man. I'm saying right now, his ceiling is pretty good player. He's not going to be world class. It's not happening. It's not happening. But wait, let me.
Oh, absolutely. Noor Bashit was saying that he's saying that African player winning. African players. Africa's way closer to winning a Ballon d'Or. Africa already has a Ballon d'Or winner. We're talking about
Zidane. Yeah.
Well, no, George Weah.
But that was 1995. It's been ages though.
Yeah, but still, there's still been. It's in history. There's still.
Wait, let me ask you this though. Have you been watching Last Dance?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Let me ask you this. First of all, you guys, it's been an amazing documentary so far, flipping incredible. Mm-hmm. And I feel so privileged to have really lived this when it was happening and unfolding. Do you think there is a Jordan equivalent in football?
Shoot, a Jordan equivalent.
That's it. Do you believe there's a Jordan equivalent in football?
No, man. No, the only one that comes close is Cristiano Ronaldo. The only one that comes close. That a guy that wills winning into existence.
No. Okay, let me explain. Because Jordan made people who didn't care about basketball care about basketball.
That is true.
He transcended the sport.
Transcended his franchise. The Chicago Chicago Bulls were being outsold by an indoor soccer team.
No. Basically, it's people knew about Jordan before they even knew about what the hell basketball was. He was a global superstar. Remember, this is before retweets, before likes. This is no modeling ads, no looks. It's just purely about your sporting ability and what you did and how you affected the sport.
But here, let me tell you, HH. Let me give you why I compare them to, because the key thing about Jordan is from when he was in high school, he always wanted to win. That's the only thing that mattered to him was I just need to win. And he got to college, and even then in the first year, he clutched his second year. He was in the NBA, right? He goes to the Chicago Bulls. Nobody's at the time. They got first draft, and they picked him. And at the time, within his first season, he had already proved that he's the best player at that team as a rookie in his first season. Then he went on over almost a 6-year period building up the franchise year after year. First, let's just get to the conference, right? To the Eastern Conference. Then we need to get past the Detroit Pistons. And they couldn't. They had because they were a behemoth at the time. And they were a very hard like defensive team, which those games were low scoring games, and they were just beating up the Bulls because he didn't have that winning mentality, didn't have that edge yet. But eventually, Jordan they kept on knocking on that door till they won that first championship. And once he won that first championship, he never looked back. Right now, let's compare Ronaldo. Ronaldo comes to United. Right at this time, United is not the best club in the world. In England, sorry. Arsenal, Invincibles, they were all it. Like the class of 92 at that point has faded away. The treble has been passed. Ronaldo comes to this team in 2003. Money comes to Chelsea. All of a sudden, United have to go up against Arsenal and Chelsea. They didn't win a trophy for 3 years, right? And then once Ronaldo hit his form, and he just kept on getting better and better and better, and he was proven at the time to be one of the best players on the United team, a star-studded side, not like the Chicago Bulls, which were filled with bums. At the time, bums. I use that term very loosely. What's it called? Ronaldo ends up taking him to a three-peat, winning a European trophy. The only difference between Ronaldo and Jordan is Jordan did not have a freak of nature and like a billion-dollar institution and medicine and everything competing with him and Lionel Messi, right? Ronaldo, even in the era of a player who should have been in any other era the greatest player of all time, was able to compete with him just by. He just kept on going.
No, but see, for me, like, I think you're looking at it at a very at a micro level. I want you to look at it at a macro level, because I think what was so key about the documentary was how popular he was, and how many people loved him.
Yeah,
because again, like, he couldn't go anywhere.
But
like, this guy was like a world. There was crazy fanfare based on this dude. Now, 100%, Cristiano is ridiculously popular and everything, but Cristiano isn't as universally loved as Jordan was by the fan. Because again, Cristiano has the people who flipping like FG, love the dude, and you have guys who hated the dude and boo him. Jordan was like, see, the only people that had issues with Jordan were opposing players, not opposing fans. Opposing fans were like, now we are witnessing greatness here. So my thing is, for a footballing equivalent, who is a guy who transcended the sports, popularized the sports, supremely amazing, team depended upon him, and was universally loved by everyone in the world, and was a promoter of his sport.
Here's my retort to that, because one, football is a bigger sport than basketball. So how about this? Who's the most followed athlete on the planet right now? Because Ronaldo's loved more so than he's hated. Ronaldo is the most. I think he has the most on Instagram. Period. He has the most on Facebook.
No. But even if he's loved, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
but no. The point I'm making is that even if he's loved, even if he's loved more than he's hated, there are still people. There's still a group of people that hate him. Nobody hates Jordan. Nobody hated Jordan even when he was in his prime. So that Muhammad Ali, nobody hated Muhammad Ali. The only people that hated Muhammad Ali were racist white people. So that's why I say, you see, my answer is to say, I don't think there is. I think the closest thing, two answers. I think the closest thing is Pele.
Yes.
Pele is close, but the reason why I don't think Pele is quite Jordan is that I don't think Pele popularized the sport as much as Jordan did. I don't think Pele brought football to the world as much as Jordan brought basketball to the world.
Pele absolutely brought football to the world. Pele was touring worldwide. Pele made football even relevant in the US. Period. And by the way, that's back when
to the same degree as Jordan.
Pardon? No. Pele, we forget because look, Pele is way beyond our years. But you have to remember, during the era where Pele came up, that was back when football was not really big yet. Don't forget, there was a world war that just happened past decade. Football seasons were just really coming back. Teams were you had Santiago Bernabeu really revolutionizing club football on the business level in Spain at the time, and where they were arranging all these trophies and setting up the Latin trophy and the European trophy. Pele came in and just gave the sport a face. He came in. That's why you go anywhere around the world, ask any grandfather, any father, name one footballer, he'll name Pele, because their era, their generation, the generation that raised us to make us like this sport, they were all influenced by this guy. So he sets precedent. I will tell you this: you are right in one thing, because the reason I can't compare Pelé, because Pelé's in a different era. You are right. Jordan is the archetype for the modern day mega athlete, like the athlete that has like all the branding, like a Ronaldo, a Messi, a Pogba, like branding wise. Because if you notice, before, like, players usually would be very kind of political, they speak their mind. Jordan pretty much killed that. Jordan, like, he had a quote in the last episode. He said, "Republicans buy shoes too," and he didn't even support them.
Oh, yeah.
He sort of set it up to show people, like athletes, like, look, you got to focus on your brand, right? Like, you got to focus on yourself. You got to win. You got to use, while they love you, you got to use that fame to really expand your, expand your reach, expand your sales, like, just build up your brand. He set that up. Like, Jordan, I can't think of an athlete before him that did that. Like, maybe Mike Tyson, but like,
No, not Tyson. Tyson was what he did was different. It was a different thing. But
yeah, no, but I mean, like,
but see, I wanna get you. I wanna touch on Dino, because what made Jordan amazing was not him winning; it's how he won. It's how he played. Hence why I say that stats are cool and everything, but guys, remember that this is still entertainment. Yes, winning is important, but how you win is also key to how people remember you and how people perceive you. The way that the grace and beauty Jordan brought to the game, his athleticism and the way in which he would finish at the rim and the kind of things that he would do, is what sets him apart and made us adore him. Dino just didn't have a longevity that was enough to really say, because I think Dino had the tools to be like a Jordan in terms of, this is a guy that can make people who don't care about football love football based on how he played the game. I think you don't need to understand basketball to be impressed and enamored by what Jordan was doing on the court. You don't need to understand football at all to be like, look at what this guy is doing. I don't think that, even if you look at, basically, a non-football fan looking at Messi or Cristiano, yeah, they'll be impressed, but not to the same degree as a Ronaldinho. Same thing as an R9 at its peak, because of the kinds of things they were doing and how they were doing it and the beauty and style that they were doing it in. So, I mean, could Dino have been potentially a Jordan thingy, or?
The thing is, Dino's star shined very bright, just not very long. You know what I mean? Like, it just burnt out very quickly. That's the only issue with Dino, because Dino, like, I'll tell you this, man. This is a sin for any Real Madrid fan, but I owned a 2006-07 Barca shirt with Ronaldinho, the away kit with the light green and blue. Like, it was like lime green with a yellow print, had UNICEF on it. I owned a Ronaldinho jersey like that. Everybody loved Dino. Everybody loved Dino. Madrid fan, Barca fan, everybody loves Dino. The only thing is just no mentality. He didn't have that Jordan mentality. Because look, Jordan did that, but he never stopped. He always wanted to win. He didn't just like go party. He didn't do any of that stuff. Like, his hobbies were competitive hobbies, like gambling on golf games and like just going playing cards. They were all games where you win. Like, he always had that mentality, and you always have to have that. When you have that talent, you really have to really want to win. You have to. It's kind of corny that I keep after repeating this, but like, it really comes down to that at the end of it.
So, for me, so you still affirm that Cristiano is the closest thing to a Jordan that we have?
Cristiano, yeah, I really do, because like, it just, look, Cristiano's always neutral in all situations. All he does is just like, he literally just wants to win. Like, even when he declined physically, when any other footballer would have retired, he adapted his whole game plan. And he set up his team. He convinced these world-class players around him to play for him and set him up. And he was able to finish all those chances. It's not coincidence. Like, when you see those like tap-ins, it's not just because Ronaldo's just standing there. No, if you look at the play, he sort of like feints, makes the defense move in a different direction. Then he exploits the other piece of space. He's very intelligent with his play. So It's not just that he wants it; he also works very hard. He also like it's just that mentality gets him overboard, and then he uses it when you win. You're going to naturally grab it. You're going to bring people's eyes to you. When you have people's eyes, that's when investors come knocking, right? And Ronaldo has just as big, like his brand could be just as big as Jordan's 30 years down the line, because that's how business works. Usually, like if you see companies like Apple, pardon?
Ronaldo's brand is as big as
No,
Jordan.
no. See, don't put those words in my mouth. No, Jordan's is massive. You know what I mean? But I'm saying
The biggest. It's the biggest. It's the biggest sports brand in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, like Ronaldo, let's say, but Jordan's had 30 years of work on that brand, right? Like you give Ronaldo 30 years afterwards, and let's see where he goes. You know what I mean? Because like
See, my thing about it is that, and this is why I pay back. Ronaldo is huge in the footballing world. People who don't even play basketball are buying that Air Jordan sneakers, the Jordan sweatshop, the Jordan. So something Jordan did made people who didn't even care about basketball.
But
basically, you know what? It's like Tiger Woods. I hate golf.
Yep.
But I still know of Tiger Woods based on how he has transcended his sport. And I think Messi and Ronaldo, they're still massive within the confines of football. I don't think they're talked about in the same way that an Ali or a Jordan are beyond their sports, where Jordan is a global brand. Wait, Jordan, just the word Jordan means, oh, geez, because again, when you say Ronaldo, for me, I think R9.
Yeah, but here's
so
the thing. I do. You are right from a Eurocentric point of view, and like if you're looking at more developed nations where like people can afford those brands and everything. Yes, you're right. Jordan brand is like that, but like if you look at it over the whole scale of the world, when you get to like the less fortunate countries, people know Messi and Ronaldo more than they would know like of course they know Michael Jordan, but like nobody cares about his brand like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's just from like I'll tell you from my anecdotal evidence. I grew up in Asia, right? And where I grew up, like I knew of Michael Jordan because I also was back and forth between Canada and like in my country. So for me, yes, I knew of Michael Jordan over there, but over here, nobody really cared. Not because like basketball isn't just big there. Like you know of Michael Jordan, you'll see like movies where he's in like Space Jam or stuff like that, but you won't really, appreciate his greatness or what he did. You won't know what he did. You just know that he's a basketball player. Whereas Messi and Ronaldo over there, they're going to be huge. So because and the reason for that is like a reason why Michael Jordan's brand was so massive is you have to think about the timing, because he went up during the 90s where that was hip hop's golden era, and the hip hop artists always looked up to the athletes, right? So what the athletes were rocking, the rappers were rocking, which was then influencing the culture of the young kids that are growing up, and then they start getting influenced by that, and that's why you have the Jordan brand so massive. It's sort of like a domino effect, where just like just one thing led to another and he just hit gold. He just got lucky. It could have been anybody, but it was him. He just got like his hard work and opportunity met, and that's how he got his good luck. So that's what I'm saying.
So you're just niche saying that's red spots on, and I should talk central midfielders on Sunday. I think I've got an interesting Saturday and Sunday topic. Mandora, leave it to me. I've got an interesting Saturday and Sunday topic. You see, I think, look, man, because again, look, will people talk about who are the GOATs and the greats of football and everything? And you see, in football, there's a debate. Now, you see, now this is my thing here. There is a debate in basketball. Jordan wins every time. But there is a debate. People say, no, there's not even a debate. I think you're being disingenuous to LeBron. There is a debate. Jordan wins every time. So whether it's Kobe, whether it's LeBron, Jordan wins every time. In football, there's a debate. And there's a debate. And there's a debate. And we will never reach a consensus. You will never, ever convince me, ever, that Messi and Cristiano are the greatest. That'll never happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the debate would always wage with me. In basketball, it's Jordan.
Easily.
And that's why I think that's the difference there, where like there is a universal acceptance that basketball, for as long as it's going on, he is right at the top. He's right at the top. But I think for football, and again, we'll probably, and I think Amjad Critic has obviously said that keep a segment. Yeah, we'll probably talk about this in the open hangout. There is a discussion, and I think that is why. And here's the funny thing. It's a big thing with eras. People from the Pele era will always say Pele, it's Pele. People of the Maradona era will say it's Maradona. I'm of the Zidane Arnan era. I'm like, Arnan best, Zidane perhaps go to or Maradona. And then now guys of the Messi Cristiano era will be like, no, forget those bombs, Messi and Cristiano. But we will always be waging. But don't you, so do you accept there isn't a universal GOAT in football? It's going to be a debate that will rage on for the rest of time.
Look, there's no universe. Like that's what I've come on the hangout and said pretty much every single week, and I get abused for going against certain idols. Like there's no debate. Like I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Like I said, I personally believe Zidane is the greatest of all time, but that's my greatest of all time. He's not universal. If you disagree, I absolutely understand your point of view and would understand why, but that's the thing. You can never ever like convince me otherwise. You said it, HH. Just like I could never convince you otherwise that Messi and Ronaldo are the greatest, right? And like I love, like for me also, like I it's disingenuous for me to say Zidane, because for me I also want to say Ronaldo is the greatest of all time, because I'm a Real Madrid fan. I saw this dude drag us to 8 semis. He won the Champions League Golden Boot every season. He was 4 Champions Leagues. He was always scoring. He was always just kept us on the map, even though like Barcelona had were winning and they had all the hottest players. We had Ronaldo. We always just had Ronaldo. So like for me, I can also say he's the greatest of all time. But I can't tell you he's undisputed, because you could just come out with me and be like, well, Messi did this, and this, or R9 did this, and this, or Pele or Maradona. There's just so many other accolades that they have that he doesn't have, and so many that he has that they don't have. So that's why, like in basketball, it's a bit more easier for Jordan, because like here's the thing with Jordan's story. He came to a team that was nothing. It wasn't even on the map. Made them a global franchise. Made them go up three-peat twice. And in that one time where they didn't three-peat, where they didn't win the championship, he was out. He was taking a vacation playing baseball. So like, and then he came back and won a three-peat. Like that's greatness. That's just the ability, the everything that he had. Like it just went his way, and he willed it into existence. He made sure it went his way. Like he like any opportunity he got, he made it. He made it his opportunity.
So maybe we can slowly ride out with this. Top 5 best dribblers you have ever seen. Top 5 best dribblers you have ever seen. So in no order, you got to have a culture. I've got to say R9. I've got to say Ronaldinho. You've got to put in you've probably got to put in maybe Messi in there, maybe. You've got to mention Rivaldo. You've got to mention Romario. It's like, for me, it's like, because see, when I say top 5 best dribblers, it's not just about you beating a guy. It's, when I say best, is your style of dribbling and your creativity of your moves. Like Messi Messi is an efficient dribbler. He's not a stylish dribbler. There are few times where he can be stylish, but he's not a guy who will, he's not there to try to embarrass you. Guys like Rivaldo, Okocha, Dino, Annan, they're trying to embarrass you and make you look like stupid. So, for me, like Okocha, you have to have Okocha, have to have Dino, have to have R9, and I'll maybe say Rivaldo, Romario, or maybe Romario, Messi. Those are the ones. What about you, Red?
For me, who I would probably. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna have a lot of recency bias with these ones, but yeah, like Messi. I think I'm gonna go for Neymar. I'm gonna go for what's his name, Hazard. I'm gonna go for Ronaldinho, and then I'm gonna go for number 5. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously, and Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest dribbler I've seen, period, in his prime. Yeah, like just
Over
because
R9?
No, see, here's the thing. I never saw prime R9. I was I saw R9 like post knee injury, but like I saw like I've seen his clips. Obviously, I've seen that stuff. But like because look, prime R9 close control. He was a big dude, but he was also very quick and very fast and very technical on it. But like the thing is Ronaldo is just, I don't know. It's just he's kind of a machine. He was very quick. He's very agile. He's like everywhere. And I feel like he's way quicker than R9. Like even with the ball, like but nowadays it's hard.
No, but I think thing with R9 is, and I think it's why that video is the best video. And thing impossible technique, it's the technical complexity of what he's doing. You know, when you look at what he's doing, is like this stuff is really hard to pull off. And he's doing it at such a quick speed. Basically, I would say there's a video on YouTube as well. Before the 98 final, you see Desai, Thuram, Leboeuf all talking about R9, a 21-year-old, because they were like, 1 minute the ball is there, next minute it's gone. So it's like he was doing it at such crazy speed with right, left foot body movements that the technical complexity of what he was doing was just on a different level. That's why they called him a phenomenon, because like this is a 21-year-old doing this is shocking. It's shocking. So
no, but like like I'm like look, growing up for me, like that's when like 2000, like when I really started watching football is probably like around like 2007, 2008. Like that's when I following full on season. I just didn't know players based off of video games. Ronaldo was a freak of nature. Like even I like there's even one stat I saw that where he once completed like 27 dribbles in a match. Like he was just so quick. His close control, like not only that, he was quick, he was strong. Like he had like a lethal shot. Like he was literally broken in every aspect during that, especially that 2007-8 season. He was ridiculous. Like and I'm not even talking about like I know people always mention the step overs, but look, when you actually watch like what he actually did, he did some very technical stuff. And for a brief while, actually, he was considered the face of freestyle football. FIFA Street 2, Ronaldo was on the cover of it. FIFA Street 1 was Ronaldinho. FIFA Street 2 was Ronaldo was on the cover. He was the face of like street football. He was one that all the commercials, like the Jogo Bonito ones, where they Ronaldo was in them, like where he was doing skills and techers and all that stuff.
Wait. Actually, let me ask you this then. So Nisha says coming with such an agenda against Hazard. Leave Hazard alone. Leave Zad alone.
Honestly, why
So,
Hazard?
No,
why,
wait, let me ask you this. Best football game of all time.
The best for me, bro. Juve versus Real Madrid 2017 final.
No. Sorry. Best video game. Best football video game of all time.
For me, it was Pro Evolution Soccer and on PlayStation 2. And the thing is, I can't tell you which one because back in the day, they would mod the games and you just buy modded discs for your modded PS4. So like, because like I said, I grew up in Asia, so it was all pirated.
Okay, so explain to the people why that is better than FIFA, because people still swear by FIFA. So why would you say that game is better than all the FIFA games that we've seen?
Even older FIFA games, like from that era, were better than current FIFA games because, like, they had a mode. I remember there was one mode on that PES is you could pick like 3 teams, and then you could just from those 3 teams you could make a squad and play them together. So you could literally have a squad with like Real Madrid's attack, Barcelona's attack, and Bayern's attack all playing at once. Like you're just passing to attack. There's no defense, even the goalkeeper. Like everything, you could do whatever you want. There was just unlimited freedom. When you go into like the sandbox mode, and then you could like put like 5v1 or like it was just so much to do on Pro Evolution Soccer back then. Not only that, the replays were much better. Not like right now when you watch the replays on FIFA, they're awful. Back then you could just save the replay and put it on your memory card. It was just like there was so much to that game. You could play like 1v1s. Obviously, there's a single player mode. They then added like journey mode or stuff like that. But overall, the game was just much more pleasant experience.
Oh, we can see for me, I think what Prevo did, it's pretty much changed the game, because it was like, oh my gosh, this is what a football video game can be. This is what a football video game can be, and this is what you can achieve by it. Come on, you see, I don't. Wait. Which is the one that had Henri on the cover? Let me ask these dudes. Oh, by the way, this was one where Adriano was a demon.
Oh yeah. His left foot was illegal in that game. He would shoot.
You could shoot from anywhere. The keeper would never save it. He would always parry it. Like, Adriano was the most OP player ever in a video game. Ever.
Honestly, the funniest was he was on. Henri was on. Which PES was it? Because he was on FIFA too, so they're both popping up. Yeah, he was on FIFA 04, 02 and 04. But no,
I think this was the big one. There was one with Henri, and I think that this might have been the one.
I remember 2008 FIFA was probably my favorite FIFA ever. 2008 FIFA, because in that FIFA you actually start a club from scratch, right? So you could they have fake brands that you could set up to fund your club, and the way you develop players, even players that are on the bench or something, they also develop talent. It was such an enjoyable game. You were actually involved in the one player mode, because now I feel like all FIFAs are just the same, reskinned, updated rosters. Recycled.
So you're saying Pro 2008?
No. Sorry, FIFA 2008. That was the best FIFA. Pro Evolution is the best game, period, in the PlayStation 2.
I mean, crazy. Based on what it did and impact. No. I think it was Road to World Cup. Yeah. For me. This was a huge. Oh. Was it? No. This is wait. I swear it was for the play. No, for the play.
For the footballing legend that is Beckham on the cover.
Wait, am I going crazy? Yeah, I think
FIFA 12 was great. FIFA 12 was great.
FIFA 96. I think this was his Road to World Cup. This was a huge game, man. And if you wanted to really show my age.
Oh my god, yeah, I've actually played this.
Bro, this game was bloody good.
That's insane. Look at oh my god. Man,
see, this was the first official FIFA game. Where it's oh boom. Then they began to really. Then the next big leap was which was FIFA 96. But yeah, that was the.
It instantly looks better.
That was that. Oh no! Look, man. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. No, but you see, my thing about Pro Evo was, FIFA is an arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what FIFA has turned into now is it's a money-making scheme.
Yeah, it's the ultimate team.
Yeah, ultimate team, where you have to pay real money.
Oh, I can go into detail about that, because I was actually an avid participator for a couple of years, and I put a lot of money into it, and biggest regret, and I would never recommend it to anybody.
Oh, you actually put real money into the ultimate team?
Yeah. I it's not like I never put myself into debt doing it. No, but I put some money, but it's just not worth it. Even if you do put money, and that you will not. I remember there was in 2017, there was a Christmas event going on, and I was I had a good paycheck and everything. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself for Christmas. Plus, it was my birthday. My birthday's January 2nd, so it was around that period. I was like, let me just put some money and buy some packs. So I put. I'm not no joke. I put around $300, right? just buying packs, just trying to get Cristiano Ronaldo just to complete like my team. Because he's the most valuable player on FIFA. Like whenever you have an inform Ronaldo card, he's always worth the most. Messi's usually like Ronaldo when he comes out, he's usually like at 1 point something million. Messi would be around like 900,000 because Ronaldo has a physical attribute to him as well, which that's massive in the game. And why it shows the game is broken because you could just be fast and you're like fast and just big and you're broken essentially. I put $300 into it. Literally, the value that I got out of it couldn't even afford me half of Ronaldo's card. Half. So think about that for a second. You have a game right here, which aside from its market value, which is like $79 Canadian plus taxes. So you're like, aside from that, you put $300 of your own money into it as well, and you still can't get one player. Even though he's the most expensive, you still can't get him. Like the market is broken because this is a game for kids. This is a game for like everybody actually, but like kids play this game. So it's very manipulative in a sense. It's I'm pretty sure it's immoral on many different levels.
Oh no, because you see, I thought because my friend always plays FIFA whenever I go to his house, and he never spends any money because I thought the idea of Ultimate Team is okay. You have to now build your team.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, HH.
And you just have to say, let's just see what I get. If people can spend money to get an edge, doesn't it defeat the whole purpose?
Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. Because HH, here's the thing. Let's say, for example, I get to division, like typically, like in Ultimate Team, you're going to be hovering around Division 4, Division 5, Division 3, right? Let's just say I get to Division 2, right? Once you get to Division 2, all the teams that you're playing are just stacked with icons, stacked with inform cards, stacked with cards that are just broken. Like everything is 99. In addition to this player being incredibly skilled, and you're going up against them, and you're still using Jordi Alba as a left back because he has 90-something pace, and that's the only reason why you have to use him because he's the only player that's decent or all around and has 97 pace. It was so like the game is just so broken. It's just like there's no way you can compete. You have to put money into it. You can only I even know players, right? I even know players that are very good at FIFA, like elite talented players that even come on this on the hangouts with us, and they play Ultimate Team and they can't get into it because it's just stupid. It's not there's no competition in it. It's just about who has the better team. It's like you have a Honda Civic and a guy has a Lamborghini. He's claiming he could beat you in a race. Of course, you can beat me in a race. You have the better car. It's not any telling of your driving talent. It's because you just have a faster car. Same thing with this game. You're going to beat me just because you have a shinier team, a better team, a team with more informs. It's stupid. And those informs cost so much money. There's no way for you to trade them. So if you have like a double and you win an untradeable one, you can't trade it with another player. Like that's it. And you can't move them over to the next.
So people okay, so you spending the real money increases your chances of getting a better player.
Yeah, you can just buy packs, just like buying like trading cards back in the day. Like
so can I still obtain these packs if I don't spend any money?
You can sometimes if like you win like competitions, like let's say you have the weekend league. So during the week you have every year they kind of change the qualification process. But let's just say you win you win like this tournament and then you get qualified to the weekend league, or you win this many games and collect this many points, you get qualified to the weekend league. Now when you play in the weekend league, now this season this year they made it 30, but before it was 40. So you have from Friday night, Saturday and Sunday to play 40 games of FIFA. Right. And depending on where your rank is, right, you'll get a certain like reward package. So let's say you'll get like two, let's say $20 packs if you have like 20 wins. Right. Now, mind you, each game is at least 15 to 20 minutes long. If the player that you're playing with is not a child and doesn't start pausing and doing crap. So you have 40 games to play over the course of 3 days. That is exhausting. It's impossible. Like you're just gonna have to spend your weekend inside. You can't go outside. Like there's no way if you have a job and you have a regular life, friends, family, whatever. There's no way, unless it's a full-time job. There's no reason for you to put this much time into a video game. There's no reason. 40 games, and I've done it, by the way. I've pulled all-nighters to do it because I was just really involved into FIFA. And
actually, let me just hit this real quick. Says people used to be mad for Cristiano Ronaldo for showboating. Yeah, but I think Ferguson helped to sort of like improve and refine his game because he was doing it too much.
Yeah, he was considered all he was known for is just showboating way too much and just not doing it effectively.
But yeah, just to the point, see, I think I put in about 40 or 50 hours into Skyrim, or 60, because again, Skyrim was like, look, boom. But the thing about it is that I'm happy. I put in about 40 hours into Mass Effect 2. I put in about 70 hours into Skyrim. I believe maybe about 30 hours into Mass Effect, because there is like, it's an RPG. You're going there for the story and so forth. And I'm not being manipulated. And with these kinds of games, especially Skyrim, it's about exploration. Yeah, if you do the story, so like 20 hours, but Skyrim, like those hours and everything is like, wow, I'm meeting this person. Look at what I did. I met this dragon here. I met this. Look, I did this kind of crazy, amazing quest. Oh, geez, look at what I found just roaming the whole thing. So the time is good. The worst thing is you're spending all this time, you're not really getting anything back. That's the worst thing. All those hours I spent in Skyrim, oh my gosh, those 60 hours were bloody amazing, because I enjoyed every second of it, of exploring the world. If I'm putting 70 hours, spending thousands of dollars, and I still can't get Messi or Cristiano, oh my God. And I can't get those hours back. But why do people still give these morons money?
It's just, you can look into it. It's actually a whole process behind it with microtransactions. It's a real problem where they can trigger dopamine in your brain by giving you rewards. Let's say when you first start a game, they'll just let you win repeatedly, triggering your brain to just get that excitement factor that you're constantly unlocking and winning and progressing. But then they take you to a point where you're at a stop. And you're at a stop not because the game is just hard or whatever. It's because they simply just made it impossible for you to win at your current state. No matter how skillful you are, no matter how tactical, no matter what, your progress just halts due to just you're not ready. You just don't have the facilities for it. So what they then at that point you're burnt, because now you want to play the game. You want to feel that feeling. You're going to go start buying. And what happens when you start buying? You'll slowly microtransactions. $7, $10, $20. It's cool. Oh, what did I spend? $100? Oh, no, it's just $200. I could pay it off. And then after that, you go through the process of being like, well, now I'm already have this much money and I can't stop now. You know what I mean? I've already put this much in. I can't just. You see how it is, and people just fall in that cycle. And like thankfully, I used some extra income I had, not income that it wasn't rent money. Some people, because I've heard stories where people used rent money. People stole their parents' credit cards. People did those are the real bad ones. Because like I said, some people have addictive personalities. They could, and with these games, they're built to sort of manipulate you in that.
See, because I could fall into that trap. I can see myself falling into that trap.
Oh yeah. Because the thing is, I had this whole I still have my 16-17 team because I have FIFA 17 still. And I sometimes go on there because that was probably my most successful Ultimate Team I had. And that's I'm also I actually got really good at Ultimate Team. So I can now with $100, I can make a lot of money because now you sort of recognize the market, and when you've played it over and over again, you know which players should sell immediately, which players you should hold on to, and which players are going to be at high value at one point because of competitions or whatever. So you can essentially overplay it over years, but it sucks because every year you have to start from zero. So all the money you invested in before, it doesn't move on to FIFA 19 or 20 or 21 or whatever. That's just wasted money. That's just stuck in 2017. But in 2017, I had a whole informed Real Madrid team. It was Real Madrid, which my friend saw, and he was like, why don't you just play regular FIFA? Why are you playing Ultimate Team? I'm like, you just don't get it. If they're not 99 everything, it doesn't count.
So have you heard of this FIFA 2020 Nintendo Switch scam?
No. I mean, I've heard vaguely about it, but I don't know. I never looked into it.
Well, if you can tell us about that, bro, I think it would help, bro. Because I've not really heard about that whole scam.
There's a couple of channels I usually follow that they talk about gaming news, so I'll definitely look into it.
Look, the only guy I go to for gaming is Angry Joe, because
he's a good critic. He's a very good critic.
Because do you know what I found out?
What?
IGN, GameSpot, all these gold dudes are paid.
Yeah, of course.
They're all paid, and these guys, if the studios will give them early copies, give them perks, they'll give them favorable reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But Angry Joe is one man. Angry Joe no, look, I have a following. You can't buy me. And that guy has kept it real from the very beginning up until now. So for me, because more times than not, his critique, because sometimes his reviews can be a bit sort of elaborate, but his critique on a game is top notch. So more times than not, if a game is good or bad, I go to him.
No,
he's still the best.
He's a great content creator because he brings you the review, but he also at the same time like makes it enjoyable, makes it entertaining.
You see what it is, Red, is like, I have no beef with what it does because you have to cater to your crowd. See, for me, it's like I find him, regular him, funny. Forget the bells and whistles and everything. Just you are entertaining by yourself. But I think that green screen and everything is for his audience, which is cool. So for me, like, I just fast forward to him reviewing the game and making the points. I'm like, all right, boom, and I have the idea. But so sit down. This is what I want to bring up. So FIFA points are banned in Belgium and Netherlands. Once the UK and Spain and Italy ban them, then A will actually work on the game. See, I was reading something that they were taken to court. So
That's
EA
true.
in the UK were taken to court. They said, if this qualifies as gambling and you're promoting gambling to teenagers and people under the legal age of who are allowed to gamble, then it's illegal. But EA are trying to say that no, it's not gambling. It is gambling. And this should not be promoted to kids. Because as I said again, EA, that's what I said, that there is no competition between FIFA and Pro Evo. All they can do is work at the game. EA don't do anything to the game. They're like, how can we perfect this money-making venture?
See, you know why they call it not gambling? Because they eliminated the trading aspect between players. So now they're claiming it's not gambling. It's absolutely a scam. Like I will tell you this, like from a person, like I got receipts. Like, man, like I can't wait to one day spit in the face of EA, like just the CEO of it, because man, like just because how much I hate that game, man, how much I hate that game, because the amount of money you could put into that game and the return is not worth it. And the worst part is you're gambling your own money, because you could just end up with shit. You could end up with absolute trash players. You'll get Daniel Dost for the millionth time, and that's a player, by the way. He played for Porto, Brazilian. I kept on getting that guy 84 rated. Every time I thought it was a good player, it was always him. You think, oh, it's gonna be a good boards. Nope, Dost. But yeah. So for me, like the game is just not. It's just not a good game. It's just not. And there's not enough like content in the game. It's all recycled. Like you don't have a single mode where you could start a club from scratch. A single mode where you could like in FIFA 08. In FIFA 08, you could start a club from scratch, from brand deals to which division to everything. And this one, it's just all the same. And then the AI is so bad. Like for example, I remember like when I first started playing it, they'll be like, "Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo completes move to Dortmund." Like what? Like, how does that make any sense? Like, how does that make any sense? Like, why isn't there like proper story paths or some like actual program? Why is everything so randomized? Or like,
no, so yeah, I think this is what Daniel was going about. I see this is same as Call of Duty. Only morons who buy the new Call of Duty game. You know, whenever they release these games every year at the same time, all they do is just change the roster.
Yeah,
it's the same game, and the crazy thing is, they're charging you full price for the very exact game, but they just updated the roster.
The funniest tweet I ever saw was when FIFA 20 released this year and like NBA 2K was getting released. They were like, the tweets were like, all they do is just add sweat in the newer games. Because like whenever you see they compare the gameplay footage, one doesn't have sweat, one has sweat. But then somebody went back and saw like when the 2K19 and FIFA 19 was coming out and they were comparing it to 18, they did the same thing. They just add sweat on the players. It's just a minor change, but it adds a lot more to the realism. But you can actually look that up. They do it every year to promote the game. It's never changed. They will never change the game. Everybody buys it. I swore that like FIFA 20 is my last FIFA. The sad thing is I played it for the first 2 weeks, saw that it was the same BS.
No. Red, I was long gone years ago. Like years ago, I was like, I'm done with FIFA. Years ago, I was done. I was done. So wait, have you seen this Xbox Series X gameplay?
No, I haven't. I'll be honest with you, HH, though. I don't like, for me personally, this is how I buy when it comes to electronics. I always wait 2 years before buying the newest console. and you always have to do that. Do you want to know why? Because it's all based off lies. You can go into the gaming industry. Literally, a lot of the video games that you see that they're going to release and they show you like in these expos and everything, it's never the finished game. It's just like a demo that they sort of set up. That when you actually play the real game, the graphics are much worse, or the gameplay is a bit more
In
rigid.
every console, and sometimes there's a rarity. Anytime there's a new console, the first wave is they're figuring it out. The games you need is the second wave. So you're gonna get like your Dynasty Warriors, your Gran Turismos, and all that crap in the first wave. Like, let's just put some games out there. But developers need like a year for trial and error before like, okay, we've now figured out how to really get the best out of the console. The rarity was Halo on Xbox, because Halo was like off the jump, boom, this is a console seller, this is an amazing thing. But that's a rarity. And when did GTA 3 come out on PS2?
I do not. I played GTA 3 and Vice City both on PC. I didn't play them on a console. I remember when I found out that GTA was on a console was San Andreas, and that blew my mind.
So you see, so are you gonna buy PS5 or Xbox day one?
Me? No. I wait. Like I said, I wait because you could buy it day one, but then just watch all the glitches and the graphics and like everything's gonna be overpriced for it. It's just not worth it. I'll just wait like a year or two. And then before you know it, you could just buy a brand new one. You'll find controllers online for probably half price because people are just like selling it or just don't want or have extra. And like,
my thing about it is that, look, see, give Nintendo credit because they were smart. We can't compete with these dudes for graphics. But what people forget is
it's a family console. Nintendo is not a console you can sit and game at home alone. It's meant for you and people.
It's gameplay. Gameplay will always be king. Gameplay will always be king.
Say that to the Pokemon franchise, HH. That franchise is stale and dead. Like they're still the richest franchise on the planet. Like they are. Like Pokemon is number one over Avengers, superheroes, DC, Marvel, comics. Anything you think that's big, Pokemon is number one. That's how massive they are. But like their games are so dumb nowadays. Like essentially they're made for kids. Like you can grab that game and just press A and you'll beat the game. Pardon?
So you said Pokemon is the biggest franchise in the world in terms of money?
Yeah. It is. It actually is. It's bigger than Hello Kitty even. Yeah,
really?
like yeah. Pokemon's number one. It's actually the biggest, like the most grossing, because Pokemon has like trading cards, video games, TV series, movies, merchandise, and like it's been around for like 30 years. Like strong. Like it's been around since like 96, 95, 25 years, and like every year it's been pretty much like releasing new form of content. They have side games. They literally had a movie that just came out in theaters and was like a blockbuster just last year, Detective Pikachu. They're a massive brand. The thing is just their games are just like the games that made that whole brand are just trash nowadays. So, but Nintendo
I think Pokemon had its day. Like Pokemon at its peak was insane. That craze was insane. Like
I remember
everybody had to have like the Pokemon Red, Pokemon this and everything. It was just as you see. I don't think anything reached that peak.
If you don't mind, can I just? I'm just gonna ask one guy in the comments, Daniel Jones Ortega. You said you loved Sword and Shield. Have you played Pokemon games before, or is that like your first game? But yeah, sorry. Go on, HH.
Okay. So what is the greatest Pokemon game then?
Well, it all depends because like it's a different era. Like for me, I grew up Pokemon as a handheld. Like I personally loved, like I played pretty much all of them. But my first game I bought was Pokemon Yellow, and that blew my mind because Pikachu actually follows you. And that was back in the Nintendo days, like the Nintendo Game Boy Color. Like so, like it was mind blowing because you didn't expect video games to do stuff like this, not handhelds. But probably the most complete Nintendo game, probably Platinum. I think that one. But fan games are much better. Fan games, like the games that the fans like make themselves, and you like download. They could like there's Insurgents, Reborn. These ones are actually hard games. They're actually like they require team building, thinking, strategy, tactics. Like those games are very enjoyable. But like these new ones, like honestly, like no joke. It's just you go from point A to point B, mash A, then B to C, mash A, C to D. Like,
you see, that's what you see for me. Like addiction, like a full addiction, Football Manager.
yeah,
That's for me is that's why I've not even touched Football Manager, because I know that I get into Football Manager, 6 hours are gone, easy, because there is nothing that can consume me more than getting into a Football Manager, like buying players, football. Because before you know, like the way you just eat away hours, like that. I've never played anything more addictive than Football Manager. Nothing.
yeah. See, but that's the thing. Like the beautiful thing is like HD Ball Manager. It gets better every year. It gets more accurate. It gets more like this is my critique with FIFA and let's say with Pokemon is they become stale and stagnant. Like for example, like with the Pokemon game, like everybody here is going to agree with me, but there wasn't a single cave to explore in the game. There was no exploration aspect to it. That was the best part of that game is like you're put in this world and you can go wherever you want. You can build whatever team you want. And you can do whatever. You can name this character. You could name his rival. You have full freedom in this and you just want to be the best in the game. That's it. Like they sort of it's like GTA but with animal fighting. It's as horrible as it might sound, but that's what it is. And like now it's just like point A to point B and it's just like garbage. Like they're just taking more aspects from the game, like just like, taking features, just making it easier. Just just buy it just for the moment of buying it. That's why I thought it was not good. No.
Well, no, I think no. Look, we'll basically end it with this, man. Is that this is why I think Football Manager has to rank as one of the great games of all time. Is there are no graphics, zero graphics. It's just text, but you've honed into the very essence of football management. And even like the handheld which I play, you've streamlined it in a way where it's very easy to digest. And the fact of where all you see is just text and numbers, and it is so consuming, is flipping amazing. It's flipping amazing. So just shows that you don't need super graphics. So my issue with these next gen consoles is I don't give a damn how good the graphics are. The graphics on the Dreamcast were bloody amazing. That was a brick console. They only had one game, Shenmue. So if
there was Power Stones on the Dreamcast, that was an incredible fighting game. And a good show.
But Shenmue was the flagship thing, So basically, if you can't give me games, why am I buying your console? Like, I already have an Xbox and a PlayStation that has Blu-ray, Skype, and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't give me video games, actually, I don't have money in it. But when I have enough money, I'm getting the Switch. The Switch is my next console.
Oh, you absolutely. If you want a game, my favorite game of all time, like literally all time, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zelda is my favorite franchise, period. But like Zelda Breath of the Wild is.
Let me see. Okay, look. Guys, let's just get in right now. Now, both of my brothers have played Breath of the Wild. It's one of the greatest games of all time, and I'm a huge Zelda fan, massive Zelda fan. Have you played Wind Waker?
Yeah, absolutely. Bro,
Wind Waker is one of the most underrated games out there. See, I get the Ocarina of Time. Link to the Past is insane. A Link to the Past is
that was the first Zelda game for me, and that is still my favorite Zelda. That game was so creepy and scary. The first time I played it, I was like a little kid, and the music and just the atmosphere, and it's all monsters, and the world's like apocalyptic. It was top notch, man. Top notch game.
Because it's the music. Because remember, before Ocarina of Time, which obviously the big thing of Ocarina of Time was like it was 3D. A Link to the Past was such a crazy story, and it was such a dynamic story for such a small console. In terms of you're going to the past, you're going to the future, you're changing things, you're going through the Hyrule Castle. It was crazy. But why Wind Waker? Because look, I'll play Breath of the Wild because I've heard crazy things about Breath of the Wild.
If you like Wind Waker, then Breath of the Wild is your favorite. I'm telling you right now because I know why you like Wind Waker.
Do you know why I don't want to play Breath of the Wild? Do you know why?
Why?
Those puzzles. I know that You see, I have to do a lot of things in time. If I get stuck once,
Oh,
I'm done.
Let me just tell you one thing.
No, easy. Because
Oh my
when you
God.
see, because when easy. The thing about this is that I get so pissed off when I get stuck that I will literally spend the entire day until I figure out what I want to do. So until I have weeks of freedom, I'm not touching Breath of the Wild, because once I start it, I'm not going to stop until I finish the game.
Okay.
So I've got to be in the right frame of mind to start and then finish the game. Because, bro, there were some places I got stuck into Wind Waker where when I figured out what it was, like, you stupid brick. It was so obvious. It was so obvious.
I'll tell you this about this is the thing about Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, within the first 20 minutes of gameplay, you'll have every weapon you need. That's it. Everything that you need to beat the game, you'll have it in the first 20 minutes. No joke. Like when on the Great Plateau, they'll give you the 4 runes that, like, if one makes you magnetize things like move metals, one makes you stop like objects or stop time, bombs, and I forgot what the last one was. You turn water into ice, like into ice pillar. That's it. They give you that in the first 20 minutes, and then you have a whole map, a massive, huge map with different atmospheres, different weather styles, different everything, different physics, to do whatever you want. There's no you can solve a puzzle literally in 300 million ways. Like there's so many different options. Like you could either use, like, you could blow something up to make it like unblock the path, or you could just go around on the water. You could just climb any mountain. You could anywhere you are, you could just climb. There's no rules in the game. The game all has its set of physics, its set of rules, like what will kill you and what won't kill you. But aside from that, it's open. Like you can do whatever you want.
As I said, look, I have heard great things about this about this game. Look, I'm a huge Zelda fan. Because sorry, give me sword and shield, I'm riding through. Give me a sword and shield, I'm riding through. Just that, see, Wind Waker was great because that's what Zelda should be. It's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It really got the kind of the animation, the Disney-fied cartoon of the whole thing, the atmosphere. I was like, no, this is exactly what Zelda's supposed to be.
You're gonna, like, I look, I need as soon as you buy your console, the first game you buy is Breath of the Wild. You need to, like, I'm telling you, this is one game that will not let you down. I'll tell you this. This is how good Breath of the Wild is. I hold a grudge, right? I bought the Nintendo Wii U. Why? Because I wanted to play the new Zelda game that's coming out. That was what they released it under. It was $350 Canadian plus taxes, so like around 400 and something. That game, that console ended up being a massive flop. They didn't really. The total library is probably 30 games for that console. So I have a piece of garbage just in my basement that I can't use it for anything. It's just a waste of money. Because, and then Nintendo a year after, like 3 years after that, until like 2018, 2017, they released a Switch, which is just, and they said, like, everything for the Wii U is done. We're just going to be focused on the Switch right now. And I hated that Wii U. But the good thing they did do for it is that they said that the Zelda game, because it kept on getting postponed, that they'd release it for the Switch as a flagship, but it would also have Wii U copies. Now, I of course, I'm not going to buy a Switch, so I was like, I have my Wii U, I'm just going to get that Zelda game as long as I get it. That Zelda game was worth it was worth the 3 years wait, and it was worth the $350 I wasted on that shit console. That's how good that game was. And like, I've beaten that game on regular mode. I beat it master mode, which is like the extra DLC with like everything. Like, everything's harder. I beat it on master mode twice, actually. One of them 100%. One of them I just stopped. Like, but the game is just so much fun. There's just so much you can do in it. But yeah, Dexter without Jack. I honestly, I never played any of only God of War I played on PSP. I never played. I played.
Those games were good, man. Jack and Daxter, those were quality games, man.
No, like for me, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, like those ones, like those came a little bit, like Ratchet and Clank and Dexter and Jack, like those ones are a little bit after I played them, but I wasn't really too much into them, like Spyro and Crash.
Okay, so look, last thing, and we'll definitely go now. Two things: best video game you've ever played, worst video game you've ever played.
Okay. So best, I have a list, actually. Like, so obviously Breath of the Wild, I just named it. There's God of War 4, the newest one that like came out for the PlayStation 4. Incredible game. And I'm gonna name this game, but only because it encompasses most of the games in that genre. Batman, Arkham Knight, or you can say Arkham City as well, just because they sort of ushered in that superhero genre. Because like the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game is incredible. Like that's the best. By the way, best Spider-Man movie you want to watch is Spider-Man PlayStation 4. Watch just the clips from that video game. Better than any Spider-Man movie that's came out recently. Phenomenal like story. But it's just like Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 is like a copy of Arkham City with a different skin. Like that's all it was. Like the gameplay, the whole, they're very similar. But yeah, so those probably are going to be my top 3 over recent times. Of course I can mention like old Pokemon games, but those basically off nostalgia, A Link to the Past, but also off nostalgia because Breath of the Wild just pulls it out of the water.
So worst game you've played?
Worst game I've ever played, easily FIFA. I absolutely despise FIFA. What other, like, the thing is, it's very hard to, I'm trying to think of bad games. Let's see what I have down. You know what? No, it's like, I'm not going to mention like any of the, it's like, not just, but FIFA is just a cop-out answer. I'm trying to think, because I played a lot of, like, the thing is, one game that I remember I was super disappointed in was Iron Man for the PlayStation 2. Like, you need to check out Iron Man for the PlayStation 2. Just go look up, like, because I don't know if you remember, there was an era where every movie came out had a PlayStation 2 video game with it. Every single movie that came out, there was always a PlayStation 2 game for it, whether it was like Iron Man, the Hulk, like not just like superheroes, but also like on anything, like Home Alone. Even when they released the 4th Home Alone, it had a video game with it. But yeah, but I see also, yeah, Bully is a fantastic game. Bully, that is amazing game.
No, for me, worst game easily I've ever played. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. Look it up.
That?
No, just look it up. Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. I will argue with anyone, is probably the worst game ever made. A complete and total garbage game. Garbage game.
Holy, I bet. Like, oh god,
what?
It looks like just a knockoff of Toy Soldiers. No. There's a movie called Toy Soldiers in the early 2000s. It literally just looks like a knockoff of that.
No. Let me tell you this right now. So my older brother, because we always trying to play like gets like games we can play like two player.
Mm-hmm.
He got this game and he was super excited. Like, hey man, we can all play together and everything, blah blah. In this game, you are always firing your gun.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop firing your gun. So the bullet's always firing. So what you have to do is move your guy left to right and direct where you want the bullet to be. The gameplay is horrendous. So me and my brother, we're pretty much stuck together because we could hardly move, and we didn't play more than like about 5 minutes. Pressed stop, took the disc out, and he returned it back to computer exchange. Absolute, total garbage. Complete and utter.
Yeah, no, but it's just the era that like me and you grew up in. Like, remember, because back then, like what I would do, I had a Super Nintendo, and my dad would take me every weekend to go get video games, like from like it would be Blockbuster, Rogers Videos, whatever. Like you just go there, you rent a game for the weekend, and I would be able to play it. And back then it was always a gamble. You'd buy a game, and it would be either a great game, like for example, Zelda: Link to the Past, where you'd beg your parents to buy it for you now, or it would be some trash game. Like I remember I've played Terminator. I remember Star Wars because my friends kept on talking about Star Wars and how good Star Wars is. So I bought it as a kid, not knowing what it was. It was awful. There was just so many games I remember like that were just, I just don't remember them because they're all pixelated and they're not memorable at all because they're bad games. But yeah, like for me overall, I think the one that stands out to me, man, I gotta say, man, FIFA is the worst game of all time, man. Like if for no game does not listen to. Every year you have an option to like an ability to upgrade the game, and you keep giving us the same recycled garbage.
No, it's true. Wait, you ever play Limbo?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Limbo?
this thing for you right now. So I know, because I already know about Breath of the Wild. Do you have access to Xbox like Marketplace?
No, I have a PlayStation 4, but it's on Steam. I could get it on
Either
my.
way, I think basically it's might be on PlayStation or Steam. Trust me. Try and find this game Limbo. I'll probably give you a link to it after this. An absolute gem of a game in terms of creativity, concept, everything. Trust me, Limbo is. You see, when you play the game, like you've not played any game like this before. The design, is just a conceptually, it's just an absolutely amazing game. So, guys, we will leave it here.
Mhm.
It's trash. Thank you for the stream, and we will see you guys on Saturday for the open hangar, guys. Peace out, stay true. Thanks.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Oh.